us as His Royal Highness Dr. Clyde Rivers and Global Wealth Innovation Strategist Dr. Crystal Richardson of Life Innovation Global present The World Speaks. Do you ever wonder how people come up with innovative ideas that are not only phenomenal, but have the ability to positively change the trajectory of minds, lives, and bank accounts for years to come? Do you wonder how they got started, what drives them every day, and what are their secrets? Well, wonder no more. The World Speaks is here. Experts in their area of influence come together to speak, share, and inspire as part of their literary submission in Dr. Crystal's book, Activating Your Greatness, brought to you by YPN Publishing and founder Dr. Sam Ibube. This is the first of many The World Speaks forums that will highlight great men and women worldwide as they share their greatness and strength as agents of positive change. For more information on how you can be a part of this Greatness Forum, Monetization Incubator, and our global humanitarian initiatives, go to www.lifeinnovationglobal.com today. Dr. Crystal's motto is No Legacy Unreached. Help her reach billions by sharing your greatness and strength as a part of The World Speaks. www.lifeinnovationglobal.com and LIGTV. My name is Zanny G. Join us.
Oh, hey, everyone. My name is Crystal Richardson, and I am so happy to be with you again on The World Speaks. We have a number of people that will be coming on to share their greatness because we were talking about activating your greatness in the introduction just now. They're going to share about their greatness, about their impact, their innovation, and what they do to make this world a better place. And based on what they say, their actual submissions related to this show will be used in the literary submission, Activating Your Greatness, which is one of my books that will be coming out related to innovation and the word that I have trademarked related to innovology. I would like to welcome everyone today joining us on YouTube, on E360 TV, on LIG TV, on Roku, Amazon Fire. Let's see what else. Apple TV. There's like a number of places that we are on today. So thank you so much for being with us. And here in the studio audience, my videographer, Mr. Josh. Appreciate him being here with me today. We have a number of things that we will be doing in the future related to LIG TV and E360 TV. So can't wait to share some more of that with you. But without further ado, we do have our first guest that is behind stage. And she is a wonderful, how many times can I say wonderful? Wonderful woman and a supporter of what we do at Women of Impact and Innovation International. And she has her own amazing businesses and a book. She has a number of books, but one that just came out that I'm really excited about. So we'll be talking about that. So as I bring her up, I want you to welcome and maybe even put a comment in the show, like where you're streaming in from watching us, okay? And welcome our first guest, which is Sabrina Protic.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, streaming in from Brandon, Florida.
Brandon, Florida. Okay, I was going to ask you to tell everyone. So I'm streaming in from, where am I at this moment? Mesa, Arizona.
Next to
Phoenix, yes.
How close is that to Phoenix?
It's about 15-20 minutes, about 20 minutes away from Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've been there then.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I know you've been to Phoenix because that's where I met you at the Powerful Women Summit last year.
Exactly. And when we had the after meeting, was that in Mesa?
No, that was close. That was in Gilbert.
Okay.
That was in Gilbert.
Okay.
So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone, what you do, and then we'll get into a little bit about you personally, about the women, and about your book.
Well, thank you so much. So my name is Sabrina Protic. I am a certified life coach. I am a licensed financial coach. I'm a 6-time author, 4 anthologies, and 2 single authored books. I'm a wife and grandmother to guess they're 3-year-old twin girls and a 12-year-old granddaughter. I have a wonderful daughter and son, both doing well. Daughter's married, son's on his way to that. Hint, hint, son. And life is wonderful. I have another granddaughter and grandson. I forgot about that. My husband's grandchildren, so that I'm grandma to them as well. And I just love life. I found my passion in working more with people than I do with corporations. My background is in corporate America. I was a corporate operations manager for centuries, corporate operations manager, focused on the operations, their daily operations, OSHA compliances, audits, many audits, surviving that. Oxley, if anybody's ever worked on corporate America, we had to call Sarbanes-Oxley. We had to comply with that. So basically, I centered a lot on compliancy, health, and safety in the corporate arena, which was great. That was good. That was my swagger. That's what I was good at. But during my career, I started to focus the later part of my career on helping the community. So I formed a women's empowerment organization called WEE, W-E-E, and it was focused on helping young, fresh entrepreneurs, people just throwing their hat in the ring, and helping them harness some skill sets. One of those things would be to learn how to support the community, learn how to contribute to the community and be a part of that. And then the community could recognize and support your business. So every year we had at least 2 outreach opportunities in the community where we would support. One of them being Dress for Success, because that aligned with what we were doing, getting women in the workplace or creating employment opportunities. So that was a great alignment. We actually hosted some collection drives for professional clothing that was televised. We did, I know I'm going on and on and on, but I got to say this because it was really big. We selected a couple schools, all girls school, all boys school, inner city. So, there was a struggle there. And we helped raise some money for those schools and were able to donate to those schools. And those girls were participating, the girls portion, in some of the things they had never experienced in their life. They had never gone to a formal event. We hosted a formal event. Didn't have dress shoes. The moms had to go out and buy them dress shoes, didn't even own a dress. They never knew what hors d'oeuvres were. Mm-hmm. So they learned those things because of the things that we were doing outreach. So I just love that. And it led me into the other things that I do.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then it led you to Phoenix, where you met me last year for Women of Impact and Innovation International. And that was our very, very first international summit. And just tell everyone a little bit about that experience, because we're going to be talking to some of the other women of our organization on here as well.
I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to go back a step because I was so busy. I almost let that slip. And I almost didn't go to Phoenix. And one of our executive board members, Hua, sent me an email and says, hey, you got to go to this event. And Hua's one of those people, when she speaks, you kind of listen. So I said, well, she's inviting me to this. I got to go. I missed the early bird, getting so wrapped up in my own life. I missed the early bird. And now I got to pay full price. But you know what? I paid full price because I knew I should be there. And it did not disappoint. It totally delivered. I didn't know what I was stepping into because I was a late bloomer getting involved. And I was amazed from the minute I drove up to the hotel. Mm-hmm. The minute I drove up, walked into the event room, and here were all these powerful women. At least I want to say about 7 of them, maybe 8, could be 10 of them I knew. And it felt so good when I walked in. They said, Sabrina. And I'm like, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right. There's Miss Crystal running around, busybody. It was so well put together, so professional. I think we all left there very emotional. I don't know how far you want me to go into it, but very uplifting. And Sharon Lecter, when she dropped some jewels about her life and her journey, I things I never knew, and very inspiring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was. And you were so inspired because that was your first time actually meeting me that you end up not just joining the organization, but becoming the executive liaison for us as part of
Yeah.
our executive board. So we're very honored to have you.
Well,
And
thank you. Well, thank you. Well, Crystal, that wasn't the first time I met you. We met at Powertrain. We met.
right,
Yes, that's where
right,
I actually met you, but we didn't talk. But I
right.
saw you from a distance with your tutu on, and, and I'm like, who's this grown woman in the room with this tutu on? It was black. I can tell you what it looked like. And you stood up and you spoke about women's outreach and some things you were doing in the community. And I thought, ooh, I want to get to know her. Well, that was one meeting. And then we went to Vegas. We went to Vegas and you were there because we're rainmakers. And there you were in Vegas with another tutu on. And so
You're just telling all my business. This is not
I'm
about my
telling you.
business. No.
And I thought, wow, I've got to get to know this person. So to be honest, when I saw the flyer, there you were on the flyer.
Okay, okay.
And I said, oh, here's Crystal. There's that lady again.
That lady, the tutu
And
lady.
there you are with Dr. Hipsky, whom I know, and Hua, whom I know, Jen, because we had, done all this Rainmaker. And I said, oh, I got to be here. So when I saw you in motion and you were just like totally running, and I says, I knew I needed to be in that room.
Yeah, yeah. And just for the record, the tutus are like long, elegant tutus. It's not just some like little, bozo like clown
No.
tutus. So
They're very elegant.
I do love them. I do love tutus. She's like, and then I saw her in a tutu again. And then actually at the event, right, we had the dancers come and they all had on tutus as well.
Yes, they did. In fact, when I was looking for my dress to wear, there are some formal gowns with tutus.
Right. Yeah.
That's the end thing now. Beautiful mesh.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome for the tip.
I almost did, but I said no.
So she's talking about her dress for this year's Powerful Women's Summit, which is in August. It's August 25th through 27th. And the Powerful Women's Summit is just going to be amazing. There's still tickets available if you would like to come, and a few speaker spots as well. And the colors are red and purple. And so which color did you pick?
I bought a red one and a purple one. I had my granddaughter here and we were picking. So we picked two dresses. So they're en route right now. We'll see, because I couldn't decide.
Okay.
But yes, I got one of each. You know how most women shoppers are.
Well, I do. I plan to get one of each as well. And then I have my gold one as well that I'm going to bring that I made. So yeah, we'll see what I actually wear at the actual soiree. But let's talk about, what you do. I want to talk about the book. And I know you have a number of books, but I really love, I told you this, and that was part of the comment I wrote. I really love how this book is outlined and the depth of it, as well as the simplicity of it related to finance. So go ahead and let people know the name of it and anything you'd like to say, and then we'll get into it just a little bit.
Okay, well, I always keep one handy. So this is the book, Hindsight to Insight, Money Between Family and Friends. I actually designed the cover. I just had this vision of a dollar bill. She said, well, let's make it $100 bill. So it has some value, but I designed it, Hindsight to Insight, Money Between Family and Friends. And the book is exactly that. It's my life in a nutshell, all of my experiences, good and bad, with money transactions. So that's the hindsight, looking back. The insight is what I learned through those transactions and sharing those very simple lessons. And I thought I would do it in story form as opposed to a talking head, because those can wear you out. So I share simple experiences, everything from borrowing money to loaning money. And I want to say this, unless you have millions of dollars in the bank, you're not a banker. Don't think that you're a banker. Lesson number one, that's one of the rules in the book, is that if you loan money, be prepared to lose it. It should be something that you don't mind not getting back, because oftentimes when someone's borrowing money, that means they don't have it. And they may not have the means to replenish that for years to come. So those lessons are in the book, Hindsight to Insight. Absolutely love it. I'm developing a curriculum for the book, Crystal, so we'll be able to use it in colleges and schools. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's on audio as well. I haven't told too many. I haven't even announced it, but yes, it's on audio. So you can get it paperback, Kindle, and now audio.
And did you do the audio?
I did not. I teetered with that, and I just didn't feel like I had the voice for it. Nobody likes their voice. So I have a lady out of Japan, and she did the book for it. And I was very pleased because she was able to, because it's story form. So
Right.
I felt like she could tell the story.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with people
Yeah.
about this. If it's better to do your own voiceover for your audiobook or to read it yourself. And it just really kind of depends on how you're able to make it come alive, right? And so, yeah, I am the author of, you held up your book, I'll hold up one of mine, the 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. And so it is where, we need to be able to use our voice to make our stories come alive. But does that also mean that you're the best person to do the audio book? And
It
so,
does.
it just kind of depends. So I'm glad you were pleased with it. And
I
so,
was. Can I say something about that process for a minute?
yeah, go ahead.
Whether you read it or not, there's a lot of editing in there. And it would be even more editing if I read it, because we are not professional readers. So, you hire your weakness. So, even with someone else reading it, I still had to go through and listen to everything, pull things out, add things in. And so it's a process. If I try to do it, you've got to have the right equipment, the right voice, the right tone, you can't go but. You know how we have our word whisker. So for me, it was better. I'm more focused on the message of the book than whether it's my voice or not.
And it's hiring your weakness, but it's also, hiring the things that, you have other things that you can be doing.
Yes, I do.
And so, building more businesses, writing more books. And so having
Yes.
people, it's not bad to ask for help or to get help and hire those kinds of things. And so, but it just kind of depends. If you're a really great reader, someone told me, like, Will Smith's book, like he did his own reading for that. And so, and it came out really well. But everybody is different. So that here on The World Speaks is one lesson that you can have for today. What we're actually talking about is something that you can take into consideration as well when you have a book. I had a long meeting yesterday with a new potential client. And related to all of what he wants to do to build his brand. He has a book that he's written, but based on what he's written, it's definitely a curriculum, it's a show, it's a book, it's like, a lot of different things that he can expand it to. And I don't necessarily say that to everyone. I mean, yes, that can happen for everyone who has a book, but especially the one that he has. I'm not going to give out any of his information about what it's about right now, but I think it's really something that's going to change the trajectory of a lot of lives. And so was really, really happy to talk to him about that. And so let's talk a little bit about, you said hindsight to insight, and just maybe pick an area to have where you give us some details on that. Like, I have the book, I have the Kindle version of it, and was going through it. And like I said, I really liked how it was laid out. So is there a section that you would like to share about?
Yes. I mean, I'm going to talk because a lot of people are in relationships, and this is a touchy subject, but I'm going to talk about post-nup and prenups. That was in the book. Very, very serious, very, very serious thing to consider. We marry for love and we divorce over money. And so I would highly recommend that we do our homework on that and the importance of it, because here's the old saying: if you don't make a decision, one will be made for you. If you do not do a prenup, then the law will make a decision for you, and you may not like it, because laws govern a lot of things. Your state governs a lot of things. Now, there are some things you need to know about a prenup. You have to disclose all your financial information to your potential marriage mate. That could be uncomfortable. You may have some bank account somewhere, some investment properties. You may have some things totally hidden and you haven't discussed or told them about. But when you do a prenup, it's full disclosure. That's on both sides. So your potential mate gets a prenup and you get a prenup. Two separate attorneys. They cannot be the same attorney because they both are working in each other's best interest. And it's not, I would say costly. It could cost anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, depending on your attorney. But that will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars if you do that. Now, there is a saving grace. If you don't do a postnup, you can do, if you don't do a prenup, you can do what's called a postnup, which means after the divorce. After the marriage. You're not divorced yet, but you do that after you're married. Same principles apply. You got to provide all that, but you don't have any leverage. You're already married. So there's not much you can say if somebody does or doesn't agree to something. There's really no leverage. At that point, you're just mutually financially agreeing if you so choose to do so. But within a prenup, you have leverage. And you can say, well, I'm not going to, and you're not going to, and you cannot have this, and you cannot have that. This is going to be my home I own before I knew you. Going to be my family home. I'm leaving it to my kids. And so you have total control. Postnup, not so much. But you can still protect millions and millions of dollars.
That's really, really interesting. And you hear a lot about, the pre, you don't necessarily hear about the post. And so just to have that information in there, I know there's like a lot of other areas in the book.
There's a lot, but I thought I would mention that because a lot of people are in relationships and they don't know about that. So I thought I would mention that. And the other thing I wanted to mention about it is does require an attorney. You cannot do it on your own. If you write one up, it's not recognized in a court of law. So don't think you can go do, everything's online. They have all these online things. They're out there, but that doesn't make them legal. So keep that in mind. That's on both post and prenup. So
that's very important. Yeah, there's all kinds of people making money, not trying to make money, but actually making money because people don't understand that those are not real. So if you don't understand it's not really like, oh, you see it online and you fill it out and you think you have something legal and you don't. We do have another ambassador board member, Nancy Alert. And when we did our weekly words of wisdom for the Facebook group, that was part of what we talked about as well. And she was just all animated about it because she was saying, she talked to the ladies and, saying, you need to have something in place before you get married. Like you guys are just dating and you're giving him access to this or to that. Oh yeah, he's nice, he's blah, 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 blah. And then they get married. His name is on everything. Your name is on nothing. Now you're not together and he gets everything. And she's actually on right now behind the stage.
Exactly. And the other piece to that too, Crystal, and it is governed by state laws. This is all financial. I don't know whose home it is. It could be your home, his home. But the minute the other individual starts getting mail coming to the house, they have ownership of that house. They have legal rights, not necessarily. They have legal rights to remain in that home. And it's a legal process and a nightmare to get them out of the home simply because they started getting mail at your address. Now that goes, here's a financial lesson here, and we can get off the subject. That's not even not for couples. You can have a friend come stay with you for 6 months. And the minute they start getting mail at your house, they have entitlement to stay there. That's a really big deal. So it's okay to have a guest stay with you for a week, but if they start getting mail, you have to go to court. If they don't want to leave, you have to go to court because it's an assumed residence for them.
That is so interesting.
Talk to your financial coach.
Let me rephrase that. That is so scary.
It's very scary. People that are doing a lot of, come stay with me for 6 months. And then they start getting mail there. You've just opened yourself up for some, and if you disagree on something and they say, no, I'm not leaving, you got a situation on your hands there. So be careful, know the laws in your state, and understand what you're doing when you allow someone to have mail addressed to your house.
And so I want to touch on something that she just said, and then we'll go to a commercial to show a few things related to Sabrina and Nancy with Women of Impact and Innovation. I'll show a video related to them. But what she said just now, what Sabrina said is know the laws in your state. Every single state is different. So it's not just, across the board from a federal perspective. Some things we think that, it's just like one way. No, you need to know the laws for your state related to marriage, related to the pre and the post, agreements, like all of that. A lot of it is broken down by state. So that's very, very extremely important. And so we do have another guest I'm going to bring on. And Sabrina, you have a few moments to be on with me.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. So I want to invite you all as part of this. This is The World Speaks, but we do have a special feature today related to the Women of Impact and Innovation. And so I want to have where we play the videos that they did on why they joined this group. And we do have an amazing, amazing summit that's coming up in August that we would like to invite you all to. But here's a little bit more about our organization.
Greetings, Sabrina Protic out of the state of Florida. I joined WOIII because of the relationships, the women that I know that are involved in this wonderful international organization. I am also attracted by the impact and innovation. This gives me an opportunity to be creative and develop ways that can help our communities all over the world. I look forward to networking with you and seeing you be a part of this wonderful outreach organization.
Hi, I'm Nancy Allard. I'm a real estate broker, and I show people how to create true generational wealth by acquiring multifamily units, multi-units. And the reason I chose to join and become a member and an ambassador of WOIII is because this organization, this group is truly about women intent, women's impact, women in innovation. It's about women taking the world to the next level, taking us where we need to be. This organization and the international intent that we have, I'm all about it. Let's take this WOII and the women involved to the next level and help other women around the world to be all that they intended, all that they were supposed to be. I'm Nancy Allard.
Hi, Dr. Emily Letran, best mom in the world, international speaker, author, high performance coach, business strategist, and dentist for 3 decades. And the reason I joined WOIII is because I believe as women, we should bond together, support each other, challenge each other to new heights, learn from each other, have fun with each other, and create that difference, create that legacy for generations to come. And if that's you, come and join us. Let's grow together.
Well, hello, everyone, and greetings. Welcome to The World Speaks. We have a special edition with a number of the women that are part of the Women of Impact. Where is it? Right here, the logo right here. Where is my hand? The Women of Impact and Innovation International. And so we have members from across the world. A number of our women have been to 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 countries. And we are excited to bring women together to share our impact and our wisdom and raise up the next generation of powerful professional women leaders. So without further ado, I want to bring on two of our women. You just heard from Sabrina. We will bring her back on. She's a part of our organization. Hey, Sabrina.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then we have Nancy. You just saw her video. Let's bring her on. Are you ready, Nancy? Let's see.
I am.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Excuse me. I am literally in a hotel right now.
Literally in a hotel. No worries at all. No worries. And so welcome to our show, The World Speaks. And we were just talking about you, and then you popped on the screen behind scenes because I was saying how you were just like really animated when you were here, and we had our Facebook Live about women who didn't put any agreements in place, and then everything was in the man's name. And when they end up separating, 4-6 months later, 2 months, I don't know what the story was, but they didn't have anything.
Right. We don't want to do that. We should not do that. We should never do that. No.
So this is Nancy, and she's straight to the point. Okay. we don't need that. We don't want to do that. No. So thank you, Nancy, for being on the show, and you have a great day. No.
Hey, Nancy, I don't know about you, but old school, that's what our parents did though. Everything was in the man's name, wasn't it?
It was. And even now, and I still find it interesting, even now, women are saying, oh, he takes care of everything. He knows where everything is. He dies before you do, right?
Mostly, yes.
50% of the time, right? So just thinking about that, and I know we don't like to think about that, but just thinking about that, don't you think that it would be a good idea if you knew what type of insurance you guys have, what bank accounts you have, what debts you have, so that when someone passes, no one comes to you and say, well, Tommy owed me $50,000, and because they knew you came into some money, you don't know this. So we do need to say, yes, maybe one member of the family is going to pay the bills so that there's not any confusion. However, maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter, you guys should get together and like, Mary, this is what we have. This is where it is. This is who we owe. This is our investments. You make it a date night if you want to, and you sit down and you discuss where you are financially so that everyone that's involved knows what is going on. And then when something happens, and something is going to happen, because the last time I checked, nobody's making it out alive. So something is going to happen, and we don't know when. It could be 20 years from now. It could be tomorrow, right? So please, if you listen to nothing else, you need to know what you have, where it is, right? Where are your policies, what the numbers is. I mean, I have a big folder that my attorney gave me when I did my trust, and everything is in there, and I update it so often with passwords and things like that, because Lord, every so often we have to change those passwords. But even if you had the last password, and then I give them like a clue, like these are the passwords I rotate. So you have to try to make things easy for the people that you're leaving behind, right? You have to.
Right. And I want to say a couple of things related to that is that part of what Nancy is saying is that you're going to have to at least trust someone, if not one or two people. So if you have where, you're in a relationship, you're married, and you have all of these things in place, yes, you both should know what's going on with that, but also your attorney or your financial advisor. And then like what we did, I was all boohooing on Mother's Day. Had our daughter from the other side of town came in, and then our daughter from California flew in here to Arizona. And so she had some other things going on. I was like, well, I really actually want you to be here for Mother's Day. So I cooked a big meal and everything. And so after the meal, I said, okay, I want to talk to you all. Like there's nothing happening. Like I'm not sick or anything, but your dad and we are about to go to Turkey. So we both will be gone. It's an international trip. And I just was thinking that, as the beneficiaries, our two daughters, this year they'll be 28 and 30. It's like, as the beneficiaries, I want to have this conversation with you because we need to start telling you a little bit more about the different things that we have, because you'll be the people responsible for it, including like his sister and my brother and whatnot, all taking care of it together. But have those conversations so that they know a little bit, at least, about what's up and what they would need to do, where to find things, make sure they have a key to the house, and
Yes.
and have the phone numbers of the financial advisor, of the attorney, and all of that, so that they're not just left knowing nothing, and so the passwords and all of that is important. There's like a whole list of different things that we should have in place, and Sabrina's book has like a lot of great information related to that. But ladies and gentlemen, that is so important. Like she said, if you don't get anything else from this, from The World Speaks, this is very important. Very important. Thank you for that. And Nancy, you didn't get a chance to actually introduce yourself. We just came on, just fire
Right
on
into it.
Oh my gosh, and then she blacked out. Oh my God.
We came in hot. Okay, so I am Nancy Allard. I am a real estate broker, 27 years experience. I am also an international best-selling author. I am a coach. I teach people how to create true generational wealth by buying multi-family units and leveraging life insurance products. Not in life insurance that you leave for someone when you're dead. Life insurance that you can live the better life insurance that you can leverage. So I just teach people how to change things in their portfolio so they can live a better life and make a lot of money and give back. And one of the things that I love to do is travel. I travel to 3 countries every year. This year I've been to Dubai, and in September I'm going to Brazil, and then Australia, then back to Dubai. I'm speaking at a women's conference in Dubai, the Global Economic Development Summit. And so I am really excited because I'm all about just helping women get to wherever it is that they would like to get to. Not everyone wants to get to the same place, right? Wherever it is that makes you happy, makes you feel that you have accomplished what you came on this earth to accomplish. I am here to help you, empower you, motivate you to get to that point. I am Nancy Alert.
And I am Nancy Alert. Like, I love her name. and the name of your show. Tell everybody the name.
The name of my real estate show is The Alert Factor.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, and I am writing a book about the alert factor in real estate.
I love that, Nancy. Cool.
Yes, thank you.
Crystal, I'd like to go back to something that Nancy said, and actually you did about. Go ahead. Oh, I was going to go back to something Nancy said, if I could.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little delay.
Yeah, you can. It looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Yeah.
Okay. About having ownership of your life and your finances. And I had a similar meeting with my kids as well. They got a little bit upset. They didn't know why I was having it. Same thing. I'm not dying, but I let them know where all the documents were and everything, because we really have to do that. If we don't, you're going to put your family through a lot of turmoil. But one other point about that, Nancy, is I was meeting with a client the other day, and her husband passed away before she did, obviously. And he was young, I think in his 40s. She thought she owned a home. They owned a home together. Her name was on the home. He had taken out a loan against the house. She didn't. She was totally unaware of it. And she lost the home. So now, wouldn't this be a perfect time to talk about why you should have mortgage protection? Oh, yes. Nancy and I both do that, as a matter of fact. She and I were in the same boat. We do mortgage protection insurance as well. I do life insurance and retirement plans, 401ks, all those things. But today is about awareness. It's about awareness and knowing if they had that type of relationship where they had those weekly communications that you mentioned or monthly, then she would have known that he took out a second mortgage against the house. She
Yeah,
would have
yes
known.
and no, because sometimes they sometimes people want to hide things, but you can only do what you can do. But
Yes.
part of what we're doing on The World Speaks is that this affects people, women, yes, women, but women and men all over the world.
Right.
This is information that's very important. You need to understand what is the law and the requirements, regulations in your state, in your countries. But this affects everyone. So yes, go ahead.
Oh, that's it on that point. I just was kind of backing her up on that. When you lose a home, and not only that, she had to file bankruptcy because they were in so much debt that she was unaware of.
Right.
And in the state of Florida, it's community debt. It doesn't matter whose name is on it. If it's his credit card or yours, it's still yours if you're married.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had to file. Yeah. So know the laws in your state. And I mentioned that in the book. Some states are not like that, but it's a community state.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you have a trust, like Nancy Alert just mentioned,
we have a trust.
Mm-hmm. A trust supersedes all of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's another conversation we can have, because that's a whole conversation.
That's a whole conversation.
We'll have one of those.
We're going place. I hope during the women's conference, the Powerful Women's Summit, I think Crystal's got some things in store for us.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted to mention one more thing. I know we, and especially if you're old school and you truly believe that the man leads, right? And you're coming from the Bible too. And I agree with that. The man lead. But I also want to say, if you're going to live by, then please make sure you choose the right man so that you are able to follow him and not have to second guess what he's saying. Because if you choose the right man, the godly man, the man that's about family, then you're going to be good. You all are going to be discussing all this family stuff, and nobody's going to be hiding anything, so that when something happens, you're not like, oh my God, I don't know. What do we have? We have nothing. We were bankrupt because he was just squandering our money. The beginning of that is like when I talk about politics, you start from the local before you get to the top office. You start with the right foundation, getting the right spouse.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you're preaching now, Nancy.
Just a little bit, maybe. That's why you and Nancy had that powerful Facebook Live.
We did. It was on, and Carrie, other people are like, wow, this is some really, really great information, because we were talking about preparedness, financial preparedness, and while you're still alive, and then, what's going to happen, after you're not. And so it was really, really good, really good. So we're going to have a part 2 on that, and bring in Sabrina. That was fire. That was fire right there. So we are going to have some panels at the Powerful Women Summit, and several of them are related to our wealth and investments group, and business and leadership, and then just us being women. And so I really want to encourage you all to have, where if you are in the Pittsburgh area, or if you want to fly in, there's still time to fly in, to come and be a part of that particular summit. And I want to thank those who are commenting, those who are here that have been listening in. Feel free to leave a comment on Facebook or on YouTube, and we will be able to put that on here. Mark says, the good man that leads knows the strong areas that his wife processes or possesses. I think
process.
Yeah. So it's very important to have a good man. And thank you for that, Mark. He's one of our students, and what was that, for Emerge Leadership and for Emerge Media Experience. He was one of the students for that. And he has a very, very amazing voice and mission related to empowering people. And so we really thank him for that. So Sabrina, do you have any final comments? Because you've been on here the longest. We do have some more people.
Thank you. No, I just want to say, if you haven't given any thought to coming to the Powerful Women's Summit, please come. It is going to exceed your expectations. We have spent months and months putting this together. It is really going to be something that you've never experienced before. You're going to meet women. The thing with WOIII, we're an international organization. You're going to meet people that you may have never had an opportunity to come in contact with, and expand your circle, expand your opportunity for outreach and to help others. So you've got to attend this powerful women's summit. It is going to elevate and expand your knowledge and your business. So come join us at the Powerful Women's Summit, August 25th through the 27th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We'd love to see you there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sabrina. And you have a blessed rest of your day. And we'll be bringing Nancy back on, as well as we have another board member, Dr. Hua, is behind stage. So thank you, Sabrina.
Okay, thank you.
Just always like that music. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson, and we are here on The World Speaks. And I hope you have gotten something. We've gotten a number of positive comments from some of our listening audience. Feel free to let us know where you are watching from if you're watching live. And of course, you'll be able to get this hashtag replay on E360 TV, on Life Innovation Global TV, as well as YouTube, Amazon Fire, and who else? That is Apple TV and Roku. So we welcome you today. And we were on with the powerful Sabrina Protic and Nancy. We were going deep into some things that I hope you listened to. And if you didn't hear what we were saying from a financial perspective and financial preparedness, it would be great if you were able to go back and do that. So I'm going to bring Nancy on so I can give her my comments related to some of the things she was saying and say goodbye to her. But yeah, so thank you so much, Nancy. As far as I said, give you my comments, like you are always on fire and straight to the point. So thank you.
Well, so you said final comments?
Yes.
Well, first, I'd like to invite everyone that's listening and watching to make it a point to come to our summit at the end of August 25th to 27th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You will not be disappointed. I was at the summit last September in Phoenix, Arizona, and it was fire. You will learn so much. You will meet so many accomplished, wonderful, beautiful, savvy entrepreneurs, authors, everything that you can. And we are international. We are international. Women of Impact Innovation International. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it. I am always in awe when I see the videos and hear the board members speak and the ambassadors. It is a place you want to be if you're looking to take your business to the next level and be a part of the community, be a part of making the changes you want to see.
Awesome, awesome. And yes, we will have Nancy on some of the panels. We have a number of great, amazing panels that will be featured during the summit. So you don't want to miss it. It is a live event. We will be recording, so there will be some things that you'll be able to watch after, but it's not a hybrid virtual / in person. It's in person. So we hope that the women can come out and be a part of that. Well, Nancy, thank you so much. And as usual, I didn't ask you where you were right now because you're all over the world. So where are you right now? You said you're in a hotel.
Well, I am in a hotel, but not for fun things. I've actually been living in a hotel since May 30th because I've had some water issue. I'm still at the hotel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say, related to your proclaimed 3 trips that you do per year, next year we're going abroad. So
yes,
we always talk about Dubai. So if you want us to go to Dubai, you have to put that in so that we can vote on that, because we'll announce it at the summit in August. We'll be announcing where we're going and start the planning committee right away. So
I'm gonna put that in because Dubai, I love Dubai.
Yeah, I know that's all you talk about all the time. So I haven't been yet. I've been to like 40 some different countries, but I haven't been over there. So yeah, soon, that'll be great.
Soon, maybe next year.
Maybe so. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Crystal.
Well, we had 2 of our amazing board members on as a part of Women of Impact and Innovation International. Right now, I would like to bring on another executive board member who has really, really impacted my life. I just love her and her story, and not just her story, just her passion and her heart. And so without further ado, I want to bring on Dr. Hua.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, beautiful?
Fabulous.
Awesome. Are you at home or are you someplace? You're all over the place.
Well, I'm home for today. Tomorrow morning, I'm heading back out.
Okay, because you and your family were just where?
In Belize.
In Belize, right. And you go there like about 1,000 times per year. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we go there every few months. We vacation, but then we also own property there, so we go back to on those.
Right. Yes. And let's see, Dr. Sharon, are you ready to come on as well? Okay, she came back on the screen behind stage. Let me bring her on.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you? How's everybody?
Great.
Good.
Excellent. Looking fabulous today, as usual.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We are such a great looking group of women, aren't we? No. Women of Impact and Innovation and Fashion. No.
We try our best, right? We try our best.
Yeah. So, Dr. Hua, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then Sharon, I'll bring you back on to introduce yourself, and then we'll have a little conversation. This is The World Speaks, and we're talking about, how we have been able to have impact in the world, use our creativity to do that, and then also how we pour into women. So there's a several different areas of that. And we'll get into that right after these introductions. So go ahead, Dr. Hua.
So my name is Hua Nguyen, and I currently live here in Dallas, in Texas. My heart has always been to really help uplift and help other people in whatever aspect. And so when people want to put me in a lane of like, what actually do you do? I do multiple things, but the end goal is to create more impact and help uplift other people. And so by trade, I'm an eye doctor for the past 18 years. And I'm also a real estate investor. And so one of the things that I didn't get to learn a lot about is financial literacy and the personal development space. And through my growth journey of being able to learn so much, I've kind of compress that so that I can help other people, especially women in the financial lane, especially in the real estate investing world and how money really works, and to help people be able to learn without having to. It's a world of, when you go into the real estate investing world, people get so confused. And so that's really my sweet spot now, of educating people to passively invest in lots of different asset classes and have more financial literacy about how that works. And then so I speak a lot now, and just being able to give back. I do a lot of mission work and give back. But part of that is, I want to empower people, especially women, in the world of finances, in the world of real estate investing, because it's so broad and people get so frightened. And I've just loved my journey this past 8 years in the whole, real estate investing world. And so now I just go and educate and teach other women to go and do this and go out there and get into the space.
Yeah, and part of that too, it has to do with your story, of which we can maybe get into a little bit later. But yeah, and you do it so well and just so authentically, and so we are really, really happy and honored to have you as part of Women of Impact and Innovation International.
No, I really appreciate it. Honored. And, this group is so different, Crystal, because you see women who really root for each other. And you see such a diverse community of women. It truly is an international organization where sisters really help and uplift. And, it's not like competition. It's collaboration. Every sister for one another, and that's not very common, and especially a lot of women organizations. And so I'm really proud, and I'm really glad for your leadership of what the women that you've brought together.
Yeah. And I believe, that God brought us all together, because like when I was thinking about this, I wasn't even really thinking about it. He's like, you need your sisters. I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. He's like, no, you do. It's like, okay, so who would I want to be, aligned with? Who do I feel, has the same heart? And when I contacted, all of you all for the executive board, and Sharon is one of those two, that Dr. Sharon, that I'll be bringing on, I was just really, really happy, that you all said yes, and we're able to have this organization and have the impact that we've already had, and we haven't even really begun to have, like, all of our boards in place and functioning. And so this next year, it's really going to be on. So thank you. So I'll bring you back on in just one moment. I'm going to bring on Dr. Sharon to introduce herself. Hello.
Hello. Good morning again. And thank you so much for having me this morning. Happy summer.
Yeah. Happy summer.
Yes, we haven't seen each other in about a month or so. So happy summer.
I know. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yes. Busy women. Well, I'm just so excited to be here, and certainly honored to be part of this great network of women. I am Dr. Sharon Stiles Anderson. I am an attorney by trade, but I wear very many hats. I have my own business consulting firm, KCG Consulting, and KCG is a very broad consulting firm. So I do professional coaching, personal coaching, training. I do training for a lot of government agencies. So my business has been hired to do leadership training in PG County, Prince George's County, Maryland government, Maryland state government, DC government, and different governments throughout the country of the United States. I'm also an ambassador with you, as you know, in a number of international organizations where I provide leadership training and expertise on various many levels. As an attorney, I certainly do all things that attorneys do, but I also wear my hat as a pastor. So I'm an executive pastor at the largest church in the Washington, D.C. area in the Christian area. So with many hats, what God has really blessed me to do is to give diverse and multifaceted advice and encouragement and empowerment and direction to people at all levels. So leaders for sure, deputy level or mid-level management, certainly line employee levels or certain areas that I engage in, but training women and engaging with women and women empowerment and women leadership, that really is my jam. And so I am so excited about the summit that's coming up for exactly what everybody said. You don't really see, and what, like my sister said earlier, a lot of women's organizations, and I'm part of a sorority, oftentimes it's very competitive. And you don't really leave summits and conferences feeling empowered. Sometimes you feel a little down when you leave because you feel that people are pulling or people aren't really supporting you. And so since we met Crystal, certainly every board and every conversation that we've had has been to advance people, and we're work together collaboratively. And so I am so excited to see what's going to happen at this summit. It's my first summit, but just based on my contact with you and the women that I've met through you over the past year, I know that it's going to be dynamic, and I know that it's going to be exciting. And I'm just excited to be a part of it and give my expertise and my love and my excitement to the summit.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're one of the original executive board members, but you weren't able to come, last year. And so having you aboard, it's really, really great. I really appreciate you being a part of this. And so thank you. So before we move forward with the interviews for you all, I'm just going to take you off the screen just for one moment. Before my videographer, Mr. Dude, has to leave, I wanted to have him on. He has a really great movement as well, and he has been supporting me. How long have we known each other? 4, 5, 6?
Like 6 years now.
About 6 years. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And we've done all different kinds of galas. The City Summit in California, and Las Vegas for the knighting event. And we didn't mention that Hua is a lady. She was knighted as a lady, a dame in the Royal Order, and Josh did some things there. So just go ahead and introduce yourself before you have to leave.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'm known socially as Superman Barnes. Super stands for Success Ultimate Power is Alive. Inside you, I have a company called Super Enterprise where we teach people how to have success within yourself so that you can walk in success. It's not something that you do, but it's who you are. Once you identify with it, you are learning how to live with it. You are learning how to be a father with it, a mother, a human being, a successful business person, a family man, so on and so forth. So we teach people how to live within the fabrics of success so that they can have a happy life.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so you have a show.
Yep, called Inspire Hour, where we bring on some people, which I'm trying to get Crystal on here.
For the last 45 years, he's been trying to get me on.
And we talk about their story, talk about what they went through, and put it in a way to where it inspires everyone that watches it to push to the next level and make them realize that everybody has a story. But depending on what you do with that story determines how powerful you are. You cannot control the uncontrollables, but you can control what you are able to use from the story so you can become who you want to become.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so he's like really deep when he writes things on Facebook and when he talks about just how we have a mindset around who we are and what we are. He is a bodybuilder. I don't know if you can tell through his custom made outfit that he has on right now, but some of the things that he does when he does bodybuilding, he'll have like a voiceover, he'll have different things that he writes. And I just wanted you to see like who's behind the scenes in a lot of the different things that we do, because he's very, very amazing and shouldn't just be behind here. So thank you for being on The World Speaks. What would be like a final comment you want to leave before I bring the ladies back on?
Just keep being as amazing as you are. I've seen the conference. I was there recording it. So I love when I see women.
Oh, yes, he was at the Powerful Women Summit. He was at the first Powerful Women Summit. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I love when I see women be amazing and come together and guide each other towards success. When we come together and do things, it's like the ability to go further is magnified, not by 1, but multiplied by 3, honestly. So what you guys are doing are amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you because the world needs women like you. And shoot, it was women like you that allowed me to do what I want to do. So, like, I truly thank you. You don't know what you are impacting and how you are influencing things. So, yeah, just keep doing everything that you guys are doing. Or ladies, I should say.
That you guys are doing. Oh, I mean, you ladies are doing.
Ladies.
Yeah. Oh, and you also did the world premiere of The Wishman with Frank Shinkowitz with me. You did the filming of that. I was interviewing the various stars that were there, as well as Frank himself. He's passed away now. But if you have not seen The Wishman, that was just an amazing, amazing movie about his life and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, how that was actually founded. And so, yeah, you've been with me for a minute.
For a long time. And it started off with her dancing her tutus at church.
Yeah, me and the tutus. She just gave out all my information. Sabrina did about the tutus. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And one of the things that we're talking about next year is potentially having him go with us with various things that we'll be doing overseas. I'm going to show a video right now before I bring the ladies back on. I think it's only a minute, of one of the students in Zambia. So we have where, the Next Gen Innovators is one of the things that we do, as well as Turkey for the conversational English. And then also we have to go to wherever it is that we're going to go for the next Powerful Women Summit. So you might have to travel for the Powerful Women Summit to be our videographer.
I love traveling. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome.
Greetings, my name is Genius Mapalo Mukuka, and I'm originally from Lusaka, Zambia, but reside in Milton Keynes, United Kingdom. I'm passionate about improving the welfare of young women and empowering youth for personal and national development. Therefore, amongst other things, I volunteer at an NGO called Educating Girls and Young Women for Development as their Policy and Research Officer. My course is titled The Essential Guide for Mentoring Young People, and I would be honored to receive mentorship on how to successfully run an NGO and upscale a business. I'm honored to be part of the finalists for the Monetization Incubator with Dr. Crystal Richardson. Thank you.
So welcome back to The World Speaks. That was one of our international students from Zambia. She is amazing. Her name is Genius. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your name. And I showed her when I first met her. I have a Genius pillow here. And I've actually been called a genius myself on several occasions. But it was like really, really great to meet her. So she is a finalist in our Next Gen Innovators Monetization Incubator. So some of the women in Women of Impact and Innovation in the International have agreed to be mentors for some of these young women and young men. And I can't wait for us to embark on that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring both of the ladies back up for us to have a conversation about impact. And also, what did you all think about my student?
Oh my God. Fabulous.
Oh, that was so heartfelt. I'm like, that is so great. Absolutely love that.
Yeah. So we have like a lot of things to go to next year as an organization. We have a lot that we need to be doing next year.
Yes.
But yeah, so Hua, just tell us a little bit about this is The World Speaks. And so from an international perspective, you've been many places and you've met we're focusing on women today. So you've met many women. What is like one thing that you feel is something that everyone should know? I know, you do a lot with investing and that's what you teach. And is that an area that you feel that women all over the world have where there's a need?
It's funny because that's, I think for me, even though that's the vehicle of what I do, for me, women just in general, I think one of the superpowers, regardless of what lane you are, what country you are, what past you're from, it doesn't matter. I think at the core, if every woman can work on their unique superpower of finding their inner strength and their inner self-worth, that's such a superpower. And that's a lane that I think I share. And the reason I share my story of my upbringing in my past, which I never did before, I only started doing that 2 years ago. So many women from all walks of life, from different countries and from different backgrounds, came to me and said, your story inspired me. And it's not because I'm a doctor or because I'm a real estate investor or all these other accolades, their titles. Like, to me, at my core, that's not a person's self-worth. For me, I just really think if someone truly believes their inner self-worth, that they can create anything, and that they can see other women from all walks of life, from all different pasts, that their past does not define who you are, that they can create anything from nothing. Like, once they can see and hear more stories and see different models of women from all over the world sharing their stories and their superpower, and know that each and every woman in themselves has that superpower. That's what I want to share with others, especially women. So it doesn't matter where you're from or where
Right.
you are in your journey, that it's possible to change it, to change your current situation. And that's what I really am passionate about.
Yeah, I agree. And you are passionate. That is like a really great word related to it, because the thing is that with Women of Impact and Innovation International, I know we're not the only like multicultural type organization, but we truly do have like representation from a lot of different backgrounds, not just racially, if you will, but also economic backgrounds. And because it was really important for me to have where we had representation. And that's what you're saying too. If people can see other women that are like them in whatever way, not just based on color, but oh, she's like me, she's been through bullying. Oh, she's like me, she's been through divorce or eating disorder, or having where there was different things that may have happened to them from a childhood perspective. And when you hear those stories, all of the stories are important, because it's just that one thing that can spark someone to lead their best life and to align their life with abundance and leave their legacy and to bring up the next generation because of that story. So yeah, finding your superpower, I think, is very important. You have any other comment on that before I ask Sharon the same question?
I'm sorry, you were cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh no. Yeah, I was like, do you have any other comment on that before I ask Sharon the same question?
No, I think that was mainly it. I just want to help, uplift. And I think that's what this community does really well, is, sharing the expertise of each lane and their backgrounds and their stories. And the summit, when we went to last year, being able to break the ice and having some of the women bring even their daughters to be immersed in this, and having icebreakers to know that every woman in there, not just if you're part of the board or if you're somebody, every woman was made to be seen and heard. And I really, really loved that, because sometimes women hear other people and they get intimidated about different accolades and things of that nature. And that's what I love about this community. It's not about that. Every sister is, olive branch to help one another. And that's what it is about, and that's why I love you and I love your community, because you're so authentic. I'm about being with real people, and I think you represent that so well. And the people that you personally select to be in the community, you make sure that they have that same heart and value that you have, so I really love that. And so I encourage anyone who's really, listening in, you're seen, you're heard, you're powerful, you're beautiful, and we just want to be sisters that help each other out. So thank you, Dr. Crystal.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wow, that was really, really great. And I wrote down olive branch. That was such a really great analogy about who we are. And we might have to do something related to some kind of book title or something on that. I'm into like collecting book titles and shirt titles and all that kind of thing. But yeah, the olive branch effect I think is really great. And so, so Dr. Sharon, what do you think is something that you've seen across all of what you've done?
Sure.
Yeah, is something that women really need to have in this day and time.
So, Crystal, as you know, I recently authored a book on emotional civility, and launched a movement, Have Emotional Civility Day, and it's not identical to emotional intelligence, because it really talks about emotional intelligence is really sort of a vertical look at how you're handling your emotions. Emotional civility is how you're handling your emotions vis-a-vis another person. And certainly it's always easy to be nice when people are nice to you. But how do you manage something when someone is not? And when you get hit with a certain stimuli, if you're not in a good place, you can actually act out in a way that you're not necessarily proud of. And then ultimately it can derail your life. It can stunt your growth. You know, one bad outburst in the wrong place can really be detrimental to you, your career, your family, your relationships. And I think that we take for granted. I mean, we were talking about your superpower, and oftentimes we as women, I don't know how everyone was raised, but we're raised to carry it, right? We're mothers, we're wives, we're supposed to be the superwoman. You know, I was raised to be the superwoman. My mother was a superwoman, and I was surrounded by superwomen. And so sometimes you stuff all these emotions, and we have experienced trauma throughout our life, and we stuff the trauma because we don't have the safe places like the WOW Summit to share. We don't have people like how to authentically share with. And because we feel intimidated, because we're dealing with low self-esteem, because we're handling the scars of traumatic experiences, whether they're emotional, whether they're physical, whether it's divorce, whether it's past abuse, whether it's current abuse, we have it all stuffed in, and then we're thrown or thrusted or worked into these leadership positions, and we're called to carry all of this. And so my book, my work on emotional civility really begins to teach women that it's okay to have them, right? We at one point, I know sometimes we say women are too emotional. And so on the flip side, when you start climbing the ladder, you start stuffing your emotions because you don't want to seem emotional. But we as human beings, as God created human beings to live and to breathe and to have emotions, we have them regardless of what we say psychologically we want to do with them. So when we come into a room, when we come into an event, we're bringing our whole selves, which means our emotions, which means our scars, which means our trauma. And so how are we dealing with it? Are we dealing with it, or are we just stuffing it because society says you can't feel, you can't show emotions? If you know who you are, if you know what your emotional triggers are, then when you get into difficult situations, you're better able to process them because you know that, this week I buried my dad. And so this week I'm grieving. And when I grieve and when I'm tender like that, I more than often tend to be a little sharp, may not handle things correctly. So maybe this week I don't need to do A, B, C, D, E. But we as women oftentimes are called to just press through it. If we're a single mother, we have to handle it. We have to go to the school plays. We have to carry everything and do everything. And then we go to work and something happens. And next thing we know, we've blown up. And then we have to deal with the residual effect of feeling bad about ourselves for not handling it correctly. So what I want to bring to the table and really bring to the discussion is really making sure that we're handling our emotions correctly, that we understand that we're emotional human beings, and that's okay. And that if we have unresolved trauma, we're here together to deal with those unresolved traumas. And then think about plans and ways to better handle those emotional situations so that we are better examples, and so that we don't get ourselves into situations that really not only stun our growth professionally, but oftentimes personally, right? The woman in the mirror is the woman that we have to deal with more than anything else. And oftentimes when we trip, when we make the mistake, it's not necessarily what we think everyone else is thinking, it's what we think about ourselves. And so processing emotions and handling emotions and emotional stability is something that I want to bring to the table, and not just in that academic sense, but in that spiritual sense and in that collaborative sense. How can we as women encourage each other to, really understand who we are as individuals, and then work towards that superpower, understanding that our emotions play a big role in that. It's not.
Yes, they really do. They really do. And so I like the fact that, Hua is talking about, superpower, and then you're talking about the other end of it, of the emotions, how that could totally derail what we have planned in our life, right? And we've seen example after example after example of that in social media, on the news, and even in our own lives sometimes, where we allow emotions to derail that. And so yeah, thank you for that. And so looking at, because again, this is The World Speaks, so I want to have where we now kind of go into, what are some things that maybe are different than what you just talked about, that is a unique way that you show up in the world to help raise up the next generation? Is there something that you uniquely do, whether you have children that have been impacted by this, or you work with youth, or you work with young women? What have you done to raise up the next generation? And we'll start with Hua.
So I personally do mentor some youth, in different aspects. And I focus on a whole life perspective, faith, family, fun, philanthropy, and health. And so the different spokes of the wheel. I think the youth, especially in the teenage phase, transitioning into that early adulthood, is an area I think that we can have really big impact. And so I personally go and mentor some of those, and Jaime does that too. We do it on a one-to-one level, but we also do it on a community level locally for Dallas. And so they'll have us come out, and they'll have us come speak and talk to different youth groups. And we're partnered up with Nancy Lieberman. She's one of the legends of women's basketball. And so we've partnered with her for the next 5 years. And again, her mission and our mission combined now with our different backgrounds. She wants to we focus on the underserved communities, and to talk to college, high schools. And I think being able to help implement kind of our life lessons in both the work and developmental space. And if we can touch the youth group of our next gen, I think those are the areas of, a lot of times we focus so much on our career and our academic path, that a lot of the things that I wish I would have learned at a younger age, dealing with emotions, dealing with leadership, learning communication skills, confidence, and kind of the big picture of the life and the why at a younger stage. And I think that's where we can have, because we have so much life experience, all of us collectively in the women's group here. I think if we can help, shape and be a mentor to the next gen, that's where we can really make an impact in the world, And so the more that we can get out there, and that's really what we've been focusing on. And, I focus when I speak to people that it's okay to be different. I was very different growing up. I was bullied all the time. I was alone a lot of time because I felt like I just blend in with anybody else. But that was my superpower. And that still is my superpower. Where I thought that was my weakness, that really wound up being my superpower. And I encourage people, it's okay to think different. It's okay to be unique and be creative. And that is a superpower. And I encourage people, especially the youth, who are a little bit confused, that they think they have to follow the social norm. No, you do not. You are unique for a reason, And that's one of the things that we like to go and speak to all different types of backgrounds, because like you said, sometimes it could be the same message spoken by a different person and it resonates differently, and so I think sometimes you have to hear it multiple times from different people before people take action to really transform and take the next step to believe that they can actually do it and create the change that they want to see, or be like, wow, if that person can do it, I can do it, and to truly believe that.
Right. And there's all different personality types, in this world. And so something that resonates for one may not resonate for another. So being able to hear maybe the same type of message from different people is very important. And when you think about all of the businesses that are all across the world, you think about all of the CEOs, a lot of them were the ones that were different when they were younger. Right? They were the unique or geeky people that ended up sitting alone and being alone, but now they own and have founded all of these amazing companies making millions and billions of dollars because they had to have that introspective, but also have where they stuck with it. Because some people, I always bring up on every show, because it is real, some people don't make it. Some people decide to commit suicide or have where they just totally alienate themselves. A lot of the homeless people we work with are very, very extremely intelligent and have had good jobs, but have gone through a life experience that has caused them to want to back away. And so being different and thinking different is okay, because guess what? Those are things that end up transforming into innovations. They transform into something that you should trademark or patent and then have a greater impact in the world. So that was very, very, very good. Very good. And I'm going to bring up Dr. Sharon, and then we'll wrap up with both of you. So if you can hold on just for one moment, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so Dr. Sharon.
Yes.
So talking about impact, that one thing related to impact, what do you have for us today?
Yes. So, well, we were talking about impact on women and young women. One of the things that I'm doing is working with the local family treatment court and the District of Columbia Superior Court, women who are in child custody battles and abuse and neglect court because of addiction. And so as a result of addiction, they acted out, again, emotional trauma, and then experiencing trauma that they're now passing to their kids. And so instead of taking away their children, we're looking at it from a different way. How do we empower these women to be able to handle their unresolved trauma so that they can actually be better mothers? That's just one thing. So there's small group work that I'm doing, and there's certainly one-on-one mentoring and coaching. But the impact is this. Again, if we don't help give hope. Right now in the District of Columbia, we're back at the murder capital of the world. The main group of or demographic that's getting locked up are 16, 17-year-old kids.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
the
wow.
Juvenile crime rate is out the roof. They are going into communities. They're just taking guns and they're just spraying. Just recently on the news this morning, family coming back from a funeral it was like something you see on a movie, right? A car pulls up and just starts spraying and shooting. The offenders, 16 and 17-year-olds. So if you do that, then you really don't have hope, right? You don't have anything to look forward to. You don't want to live, right? And so the impact that I'm trying to create, and my son, I know you appreciate this. He has his own record label. I started it for him when he was 15. This is what he said he wanted to do. And now he's in Miami. He has a an artist that just got signed to Atlantic Records. He's doing, I mean, really, really well, but he kept with it, right? And this was something that was in his heart and in his spirit to do. But now he's being asked to go across the country and speak to youth because in his heart and in his spirit, he had a goal that he wanted to accomplish. Now, it wasn't an easy road because he had to deal with the divorce that you know, his parents went through, and then his grandfather died. And so he had a lot of trauma, and he took a wrong path and then had to kind of redirect to actually walk in and create impact. And so my business, KCG, in partnership with his business and his record label, is to actually create an arts and entertainment youth development program that would also have a workforce development component, so that youth can learn about all aspects of the arts and entertainment industry, but also, you know, they get the character development, they get the leadership development, but they also learn something about the what's attracting them to the world, right? And because it used to be basketball, right? It used to be football, but now the kids in the inner city, they don't know anything about Pop Warner. Their parents don't know anything about Pop Warner. They don't want to go to the Boys and Girls Club because they don't want to cross territories. And so we're creating a vehicle where youth can come and learn about what they're interested in. And now everybody wants to be a rapper, right? But of course, not everybody can be a rapper, but there's so many aspects to the arts and entertainment industry, right? That are leadership paths that can not only inspire them, right, but also encourage them to change their behaviors and have hope to live, right? So we're looking at, and what my business is doing and my family's business is doing is we're looking at not only creating thinkers, but disrupting, right, a pathway of society that they've been on, that is destroying generations, and that is destroying communities. And then creating leadership paths, because once we teach them, okay, it's not rap that you want to do, it's lighting, it's engineer, it's working a board. So thinking, disrupting, and then creating, and then encouraging them that they have something to live for. So it's not just at the individual level; it then becomes at the family level. Because
one of the things that you said that I really want to kind of like let in here and talk about is the give hope portion. And you mentioned creating leadership paths.
Yes,
that's very, very key, and having where they can visualize that for themselves. And I want to bring Hua back on because there was something that she said to her daughter at the Knighting event that I want to highlight related to that. But you started this record label that you started whatever it was for your son when he was how old?
15.
When he was 15. And so he was able to like build his mindset, like his mind around this, and then move forward with it. Now, sometimes we do things for our children at a young age and they just don't appreciate it necessarily, and then want to maybe go do something else. But if it's something that their heart is into at the time, it's very, very important for us to encourage them. And so I want to bring Hua back on.
And I don't know if you're back on. I would just say he's 25 now.
Yeah, he's 25.
And so now we're seeing the fruit. And so it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
And there was some, traumatic experiences that could have caused him to just want to throw in the towel. But it was actually the trial and the tribulation and the test that has catapulted him to where he is today. And so, yes, I think it was important. We all could have said, okay, we'll go. I want you to go. I went to Georgetown Law School, right? I went to Tufts University. I teach at Harvard Law School. So I want you to take that path. But that he didn't want to be a lawyer, right? He wanted to be a record label owner.
Right.
We knew he wasn't a rapper, and we do have musicians.
You planted that, and Hua, do you remember what I'm talking about that you planted in your daughter's mind at the Knighting event? Do you remember?
When she asked about how she could become a lady.
Right. Yes.
yes. I remember that. I don't know exactly what I told her, but But I remember that she was really interested.
Yeah, because she saw in the book and you said, oh, look, look right here. This is where you can become, you can sign up too and work up to being a lady. Like, did you know, you're like, did you know that? And she shook her head. No, she's like, yeah, you can actually work your way up to this, because it was just a really, really just precious moment. I wish I had a picture of her face at the time. I do have the picture of your is it your sister-in-law that was fixing your tiara, I'll say your crown. That's like a priceless picture for me. But when you said that, her face your daughter, her face just lit up like, really? Oh my gosh, I can too. So that was great. So you planted that. And then Dr. Sharon, you planted that, related to your son. And I've been dancing my whole life, as part of one of the things I do in teaching choir and all that. And so our oldest daughter, we have two, they both end up dancing, but our oldest, she was in my belly while I was still dancing before I couldn't dance anymore, like waddling all over the place. But she came out dancing, and we have a video. She was just asking about it yesterday, where she was almost 2, and she was doing the choreography for the dance that I was teaching for the youth at that time. So she wasn't old enough, quote unquote, to be in the dance, but she knew all the moves. And so one time I had the song on at home, because play the song over and over and over, because I'm like thinking of different things. And so we went in the living room and she was just going for it, doing the moves and all the stuff. And she knew the song. She knew like almost the whole thing at 2, and then the booms, and then she was doing all this stuff. So we have to find that for her.
Hitting the spots.
She's a professional dancer. She was on with the Houston Rockets for a while when she was in college, and then she went on to get an agent, and she's been on with Beyonce, Pitbull, Ariana Grande, Bruno Mars. She does burlesque. She's been on with Dita Von Teese. And when she was there in Paris, Christian Louboutin saw her and invited, out of the 15 people, invited her specifically and the main lady to go dance. He flew her first class to Monaco to dance for the birthday party of the Princess of Monaco.
Oh, that's
wow.
Yes.
So they paid her for this, thousands of dollars, they paid her for this. Plus it was her first time, going first class, because Christian was on personal invitation. And then Janet Jackson was there, like a whole bunch of famous people were there, because after all, it's the Princess of Monaco.
Yes.
And he gave everybody 2 pair of red bottom shoes and 2 bottles of his perfume. So he didn't treat her as like, the entertainment. So she is now able to live her dream because of what was planted in her as a baby to dance. And then I don't know if you know who Idris Elba is. I probably didn't say it properly, but his wife called her to fly her to London to dance for his birthday.
Awesome.
All of these things are like, they do all this and pay all these thousands of dollars for her to dance for 5 minutes.
Yes.
But it's planting. And so the thing that I'm saying about this is planting.
Yes.
In our children. And one of my good friends, Laura Langmeyer, I don't know if you know who she is, but this is an amazing book. And we've done lessons out of this. We're going to continue to do lessons. It's, make your kid a millionaire. And so how it works is it starts out age 0 to 5, and then 6 to 10, and then 11 to, it goes through the life. Like there's things that you can already be doing for your children to give them a really great foundation as soon as they're born, age 0, it has in there, up to adulthood. So I even teach this with relation to some of my adult clients too, because they haven't done some of those foundational elements. And so that book reminded me of the planting that we're talking about, right? Yeah.
Right. And what I see there, as we've been talking about throughout the show, there's so many different levels, right, of people and different pathways that they have. And so there's a group that we have to start with just the hope before we can even get to the planting, right? Because their ears are stuffed with trauma, their eyes are clouded with trauma, their hearts are scarred with trauma. And so we've got to work on the trauma before we can start the planting. And then there's those that are ready for the planting, right? Because their soil, right? Their ground is tilled and ready for it. So what I love about, again, this board and this group is that we have so many people on so many different levels that can help with so many different pathways, and understand that there are very many levels that we have to work on in order to create impact. If we look at it from one perspective, right, then we're missing out on a whole group or generation of people because they're not ready for that perspective. But the fact that we have diverse individuals at different levels with different mindsets and different ways of reaching people, I think is so exciting to me. And that we all remain teachable because we can all learn from each other, no matter how small, right? Because it only takes one seed. One seed can grow, a phenomenal plant.
Right. And so as we get ready for our final comments from you all, we were kind of like went a little bit longer with the two of you, but as we get ready for the final comments, I want to focus on the words that you said, which is going to be something that we're going to be doing in relation to the summit, is around hope. And if we think about the word hope, it's very important for us not to be a respecter of persons. Right. And so I really want to make sure everybody hears and understands what I'm saying. If you only have where you listen to people because they have money or because they have prestige or because they have this title or that title, you're missing the point. Like, you can gain hope and gain an understanding and elevate your life by listening to a homeless person.
That's right.
You can gain hope in your life by someone who's been there and done that and did not really like come out of it too well. Right. So they're still working their way back up. You could gain hope from them, not just a person who made it out and is now soaring. So it's for us to really think about what we're taking in, and are we putting levels on what we take in that can help us?
That's right.
And if we look at it that way, then there's so much more that we can do and live such a fulfilling life. Yes. And that helps to elevate that person, that homeless person who is like, well, you really helped me understand X, Y, Z, or wow, that was really great. I'm going to write that down. And thank you for sharing that with me. What does that do for that person?
That's right.
That's so the hope was a very, very amazing aspect of that I wanted to just touch on. So thank you for that, Dr. Sharon. So
the mnemonic, I want to give you the mnemonic that I have for hope, which is helping other people elevate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, love that. Love that.
Helping other people elevate. I might have to steal that.
You got it. Just give me some credit.
We're doing something related to hope.
As they say when you preach, right? Just give me a little bit of credit.
I'm about to write that down. Helping other people elevate. Okay, so now when I bring you up to the front, when we do this hope thing at the summit, don't be surprised. I'm telling you here on international television to be ready. Yeah, I'm so excited about the hope thing that we're going to do. So really excited. So thank you for that. Thank you. So Hua, do you have any final comments for us? This is The World Speaks.
No, final comments. I think the finale of the word hope and what Dr. Sharon just said there, helping other people elevate. And you made a really important point, Dr. Crystal, because when you say you can gain hope from anyone, and I think one of my biggest life lessons of perspective and gratitude comes from traveling the world and seeing the true contrast of people who truly are so grateful with bare minimum. Yeah. And they're so truly happy and grateful. And hearing their stories of what they've come through and their challenges of what they're doing and how they're living life. And they don't have titles, they don't have accolades, but those life lessons, to me, when I hear those stories and they touch my heart so much, I mean, those are the moments of life that really provide, it's a wider lens of like, not just a bird's eye view, but it's a wide lens of the view of the world, of what truly matters in life. And hope, I love that we're ending our session on the word hope. And I really hope that anybody who is listening in, come join us in the Powerful Women Summit, because, it is about elevating one another. And I think we can create so much more impact as we collectively collaborate together. It's a ripple effect, and one person can truly make a change. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to empower each person to know that you make a difference. You absolutely make a difference, and you matter. And so that's the message I would like to leave with. But thank you for having me part of this community and being part of the board. I just love you, and anyone who's watching, I'd love to just, get to see, and if I can ever meet you in person, I would love and be honored to do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to thank you in advance because I have my suitcase packed for the next time you go to Belize. You can just pick me up on your way. How about that?
You are always welcome. I would love for you to come with us.
I've already been trying to recruit you for Turkey, so we'll talk about that later too. But yeah, I'll just keep my bag by the door, and you can just knock on the door like, "We're ready, Crystal. Are you ready?" So tell my brother I said hello, and thank you so much for being on.
I sure will. But okay. I've got to run.
Yep,
but thank you so much.
All right,
bye, everyone.
So that was Dr. Hua. We really appreciate her being on with us. And we are going to have our final comments now from Dr. Sharon. What do you have for us?
So I am incredibly excited about the summit. Personally, it's a much needed time for me. I need to get away. I need to be with like-minded women. I need to be empowered and encouraged. So for anybody that's watching, come with an open mind and come to be poured into. And even if you're a board member, sometimes we come as leaders and we have this focus of, I have to, excuse me, sinuses. I have to be the one, to encourage, and I have to be the one to lead, and I have to be the one to carry the mantle. But come open, right? Come not only to give hope, but come to be refilled, right? Come to be encouraged, come to learn, come to remain teachable, because that hope goes both ways.
Right.
And CEOs oftentimes, again, we carry so much that we oftentimes don't get time to come and get filled, so that when we go back to our respective positions, we can even be better people. So come open, right? Come open and excited to not only provide that hope to someone, but also come open to get encouraged and be encouraged. Collaboration is key. Collaboration is king. That is my, mantra. One can chase it. In the Bible, it says one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000.
Wow.
And that's the biblical perspective, right, of collaboration. And so, but we're not good to anyone if we're not strong ourselves, and if we're not doing self-care, if we're not continuing to learn. And so while we're changing the world and doing everything that God has called us to do, let's not forget to sit by our own brook and get fed by the ravens, if everybody knows the story in First Kings. But come and get some meat, right? Come and get some really good information that can help you be the best person that you can be, while you're coming with a mindset to lead and encourage and empower. And this is such a safe place to do that. A lot of times women don't have a safe place to go. And so they go to places, we go to church, we go to meetings, and our guards are on and our guards are up. Because we are fearful of what people might say or think, or what they might do if we really expose ourselves. And so I'm thankful to you, Dr. Crystal, for creating this safe place for women of all shapes and colors. And we are going to do some great things together as we change the world. But it all starts with us. And so this is a great place to come, be safe, get empowered, encourage, laugh, right? Let your hair down. Right. But then also to think, disrupt, lead, and encourage. And so I'm
Right.
excited for all
How you
this.
just gonna go in and use my words? That's really, really good. To think, disrupt, and lead. All right, amen to that.
Yes, yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
it's really great to see you and to hear more of your wisdom. Like each time that you speak is just really, really encouraging. And it is with what's the word I'm looking for? It's not foundation. It's with. I'll have to think of the word that I'm trying to say right now. There's a word, and I'll say it later on in the podcast when I figure out the word I'm trying to say related to you and how you inspire people. So thank you for that, and we will see you next month. Oh my gosh!
Yes. And I'm bringing some people, so that's great. That's great. I'm hoping my daughter will actually be able to get off work as well. So
Okay. And yeah, if you know anyone that wants to bring their daughters, like I was saying, if they're 17 and older, they can bring their daughters and they get 75% off.
Awesome.
So we really want to have where we encourage women to come and also the daughters, because we are raising up the next generation of powerful
Yes.
professional women leaders. So based on how many we have, we'll have some special breakouts and some things for them and have them speak to us as well. So
Yes.
it's not just
Yes.
going that way. It's the other way. So thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor today. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Take care.
So that was Dr. Sharon, and she is from the East Coast area already, including our next guest that's coming on, Felicia. Again, T is over that way as well. So we really appreciate all of the women that are part of Women of Impact and Innovation International. I think we may have some men on here as well, but we do have like a lot of our women from our organization have agreed to come on and just provide some inspiration for you and some empowerment for you and encouragement for you to move forward in what God has planned for you to do and for your life. I want to go ahead and play the commercial again for the summit that we have coming up, and then we will have our next guest on, Ms. Felicia. Hey, everyone. This is Crystal Richardson, and we are here at The World Speaks yet again. I really appreciate all of you all that have already been on, all of you all who have listened and written comments. Feel free to leave a comment on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you may be watching from. This is also on E360 TV. So it's on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and also on Roku. So We appreciate this world platform to be able to share your messages on how you are impacting the world. And based on some of the things that you say, this is The World Speaks. So some of it will be included in the literary submission of Activating Your Greatness, which is one of my next books, where one of the chapters is actually called The World Speaks. So if we're talking about impact, we're talking about innovation, we're talking about what you do to be great, one of those comments may actually end up in that book. So we thank you for being with us. And we have two amazing, beautiful next guests to come on. We have the Felicia and the Carmel, and I would like to bring them up right now to be able to share with us. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Carmel.
Hello.
So how are you ladies doing today?
Wonderful. Happy to be here. Hello, Felicia. Nice to meet you.
Ditto. It's great to be with you all. I'm filming here from the airport, so pardon my background, but I just wanted to come on and be part of this World Speaks Summit because this is such an important cause and a great event coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. And you look really fabulous in that color, Felicia.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, very nice. And then Carmel, okay, I never can tell how you're going to be looking nowadays. You know, you have the braids today.
Me neither.
It's beautiful,
I never
Carmel.
know what I'm going to look like. Thank you.
Because Felicia, she has like the hair, you know, like it's like,
Lots
you know,
going on today.
She has the hair here. And so like we always love seeing her different hairstyles and always
It's humid
beautiful.
in New Jersey.
Yeah, always beautiful. So thank you all for being on today. So I want to have where we first will have you introduce yourself, and then we'll get into some conversations about impact. So Carmel, you go ahead and go first.
Yes, so thank you. I'm excited to be here on this platform on representing such an important organization and your message. I am Carmel Jean-Francois. I am actually from New York City. I'm currently in Florida, so I'm enjoying my summer here and the sun and the warmth here. But I am from New York. I'm owner and founder of C Fit Coaching, the letter C Fit Coaching. And what I do at C Fit Coaching is I work with women over 40 on their health, wellness, and fitness and nutrition goals. And I do that by way of fitness and nutrition. And I emphasize the individual woman and what she's going through in her 40s concerning perimenopause and hormonal issues and things of that sort. And what I do is I encourage women, I encourage everybody to add more plants to your plate. I am a vegan. And not that you have to be a vegan to work with me, but I do encourage adding more plants to your plate very, very strongly in my practice and when I work with these women. My goal is so that every woman that I work with, yes, achieves her goal with regards to health and wellness, longevity, and being healthy inside and out. And my goal is so that every woman that I work with looks in the mirror and she loves what she sees with or without clothing. My goal is so that every woman I work with is and feels healthier, stronger, and sexier. It is our right as women to be those things. And so that is basically what I do, Crystal. And again, I'm a girl. Fitness and nutrition is my jam, and I talk about it all day long. And again, excited to be here and to be a part of this summit and to be a part of this message and to be a part of this group. I'm all about, as you can hear, I'm all about empowering women.
Awesome. Yes, you are. And you have one of the most amazing smiles ever. So thank you for sharing that.
Only next to yours, Crystal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was somebody, he said, but your smile. I was like, okay, well, can we talk about what we're supposed to be talking about?
He was blinded. I don't blame him.
Some women have the problem in a different way. I'm like, hello, like, yeah, let's just talk. But so the health and nutrition, so that's really, really great. And so Carmel is going to be joining us at the Powerful Women Summit, and she is going to be leading some things related to some, I don't know exactly what workout you're going to do, if it's going to be like a HIIT kind of a thing or what, but it's going to be great.
Thank you. Yes, I'm thinking about doing a HIIT, something very basic, something everybody can follow along, because I've been told, Carmel, I can't keep up with you. So I said, noted. Something that folks can follow along, but something that will definitely be effective at the same time.
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. And you did several days, I think, on our Facebook group, and
yes,
you had really great rave reviews of what you did. And so we really appreciate you sharing with us there. And so thank you for the introduction. I'll bring Felicia back on to introduce, and then we'll have a little discussion and we'll be done. So let me bring Felicia on. Hey there, Felicia.
Hi there.
Hey, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Crystal. My name is Felicia McGinty, and let me just say I am passionate about helping women find their purpose. And my purpose is working in higher education, and it's been a joy of mine. I was a first-generation college student, went to undergrad with Crystal's husband, as a matter of fact. And for me, higher education transformed my life, increased my social mobility, and gave me access and opportunities that I never imagined. And I found that to be my vocation, my sense of purpose. And so I've worked in higher education for the last 32 years. Been a senior leader and executive leader in higher education. And currently I'm working with a nonprofit organization called HERS, where we develop other women leaders and prepare them for senior level roles in higher ed. And what I'm excited about and what I'm bringing to the conference is to be able to encourage any woman who is in a transition period and trying to find her purpose, or is looking to advance themselves professionally and considering what types of degrees or credentials to pursue. I'm all about helping women to connect that, find the educational opportunities that they need to grow and advance in whatever ways they want to grow. So that is my passion. That is my professional background, and that is my personal ministry. So I'm looking forward to being able to share that with others.
Awesome. And Felicia, I think she said that you're in an airport right now.
I am, so I apologize. And there's a lot of bottles behind me just because I'm sitting at the quietest place I could find. So I'm not drinking, but I'm here.
You're not drinking. Well, thank you. No worries at all. No worries. So ladies, I just want to ask you, like, if you had to just give us like one word in relation to, like, what is the biggest thing that you think a woman could do to have the greatest impact in their life? Like, in one word. Now, I know you're just now hearing this right now, but what would be one word that you would have to be able to share with women that would be the one thing that would give them the greatest impact in their life? Can you think of what that would be in one word? Carmel?
Hyphenated word, does that count, Crystal?
Yes, that counts. For you, anything, Carmel.
Thank you, Crystal. I would say self-knowledge. I can keep it there, or I can elaborate.
Okay, self-knowledge. Okay, and then we're going to hear from Felicia and then see what that means to you. So what's your word or hyphenated word, Felicia?
My word is purpose. Purpose.
Okay.
Which I think are both connected. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, Carmel, go ahead with your hyphenated word and share with us what that means.
Crystal, when you said that, I was like, wow. I didn't know exactly what that word might be, because I feel like there's a lot, right? But to know thyself in general, for any human being, for a woman to know herself inside and out, and that's how empowering is that, to be able to not only know yourself, but to be able to, which is a different thing entirely, to communicate that to others, how we need to be loved, but we have to know that first, how we need to be loved, how we need to be served, right? We spend so much time taking care of other people as women. It is in our nature to do that, but to be able to receive it and to have the knowledge and wherewithal to know what we deserve and what we need in order to thrive in any area of our lives, physically, mentally, spiritually. I think that kind of like takes it all, encompasses everything. That's my answer.
Yeah. So self-knowledge. Yeah, that it's self-awareness, but self-knowledge, when you put the knowledge word in there, I think it takes on a slightly different context. That's really good. That's really good. So
Thank
let's see
you.
how we can put these two together. So Felicia, go ahead and explain purpose, and then we're going to meld these two together.
I think that all of us, each of us, well, first of all, let me back up and say, I think all of us have the potential to be leaders. I think all of us have the potential to be successful. But what's important is that we find our purpose, that we know what our purpose is. And once we know our purpose, we can walk in it and we can achieve the things that we want to achieve. So for me, I think it's very important for each woman, each person to really be introspective and to dig deep and to understand what their purpose is, why God put them here, how they want to use their life, and then to go and do it. But I don't think that we can act until we know who we are. Once we know who we are and what we're made to do, then we can get out and do it and we can make an impact. So for me, purpose is incredibly important. And I see all kinds of connections with self-knowledge because they really are intertwined. And it's interesting that we both came up with words that I think complement each other very well.
Yeah. And what I want to say one thing about that, which is you mentioned how we want to use our life, how we want to use our life. I think that was a really good phrase that you had. And Carmel, you have any comments on that?
I think it's perfect how we want to use our life and in servitude or in service to others.
Absolutely.
Right? Because we are put here. There's one woman that I follow that she uses the word, we were given an assignment. And sometimes we might know it right away as a child. And sometimes it takes our whole life to actually, number one, learn or understand what that assignment is, or even stop fighting it. I feel with fitness and nutrition, I was fighting it for a long time because it was something that I felt was that people don't make money with that. People don't make a career out of that. So I was fighting it for a long time. And once I realized and decided that this was my purpose here, now, just like what you said, Felicia, to go ahead and do it and live it, fulfill it.
I totally agree with you. And again, that fighting that assignment, fighting our purpose, denying what we know we're called to do, that's something that we really have to get over. And so we have to work through that. And once we have that sense of purpose, then that's half the battle. Because when you know who you are and what you're called to do, then you can proceed. So I'm excited about that. And I need to talk to you about this plant-based thing because I need what you're doing. So we'll talk.
Okay, yes, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, definitely. Carmel is amazing. And we do have, where there's some things we're doing together, related to health with Dance Walk Live. You're going to be hearing some more of that at the conference, including the book that we have coming out as well. There'll be some things related to all areas of health. And Carmel is one of the contributing authors for that. So, okay. So you guys did really, really well. You guys, you're not guys. You ladies did very well with the impromptu question related to that topic. So as we get ready to close today, like if you just had like one thing, this is The World Speaks. So there's women and men all over the world that are listening based on this platform. what would be like one main thing that you would want to leave with our audience today? And I'll start first with Felicia so that you can, I don't know if you're waiting for a flight or you just finished a flight.
Oh, I'm waiting for a flight, and I was also waiting for my word. I think what I want to leave people with is the notion that we are all leaders. We all have the ability and the capacity to lead. So my hope is that you'll just step into that. And whatever place you are, you can be a leader in your family, you can be a leader on your job, you can be a leader in your church or your organization. And so my hope is that people will just step into that. They will embrace leadership and lead.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you for that. And as she mentioned, she went to college with my husband, and he's totally jealous every time he sees her or hears her voice. Like, she's my friend. How'd you just take my friend like that? Like, I didn't take her.
We grew up together. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Ben, she's still your friend. I'm just like borrowing her for right now, because she's so powerful and magnificent. I just had to have her as a part of this group. So thank you, and we'll see you next month in August.
I can't wait to see you all in Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye. And now we have our final comments on what she wants to leave with us, and that's with Carmel. And then we have our next group is already ready. All right, Carmel, what do you want to leave with our audience today?
I love what Felicia said, that we are all leaders, no matter how small or how large of a group we are leading. We are leaders, because by right we come to this earth or this planet, or through experience, we have a certain amount of knowledge that people will naturally fall in line and follow us, right? However, we cannot heal. We cannot lead. We cannot take care of others. We cannot take care of ourselves unless we have our health. And so many times we think about the bigger picture, and we think about our goals and the things that we want to achieve and the businesses we want to open, and just living life, that we forget that there's a certain level of self-care, health, wellness, right? Movement, and how we feed our bodies. We forget that has so much to do with how we lead, how we deliver our message, and how we show up in the world, because we cannot complete our assignment if we are ill. We cannot do it if we're connected to a machine. We cannot do it if we don't feel at our optimal. So that is definitely number one, and that's what I want to leave with everybody watching and listening today.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And I want to use one of your phrases about lead. And so when we say lead our health, I think that's really, really important. And then also movement. I have recently, I teach dance, I do like a lot of different things moving, but when you don't have your Achilles, it's kind of like hard to move. But you do need to keep moving. And so I did injure both of my Achilles when I got back from Turkey, because of there were some fruits and vegetables, but I eat like a lot of fruits and vegetables every single day. So even though I went to the market there, it still wasn't the same as being home and having like all of the different things I do. So with some of the breads and pastas and whatnot, I really just went like gung ho when I got back from Turkey, like walking, even like running and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I just really jacked up both my Achilles, but I didn't sit home for them to heal. Like I just kept moving slower, because if you just keep having where you have excuses as to reasons not to move, then you're going to get into a position where you won't be able to move. So when I started back while they were injured, like it took me 32 minutes to walk a mile on the treadmill. 32 stinking minutes, but I kept moving.
That's it.
And so, you can still do my weights and do all that, the other stuff. But as far as like my distance, like it was up to 32 minutes, but I was determined to keep moving. So I just moved through them getting better as opposed to just not. And so when you take the lead in your health, you still can get benefits from it.
100%. And you do what you can, Crystal. No matter how slow you go, there's that
slow.
But there's this one quote: no matter how slow you go, you still lapped the person that's sitting on their couch. So, right? So
Thank you. Thank you very much. No.
You're welcome. You lapped some. You beat somebody, Crystal, with the 32-minute mile.
Oh my gosh. But I was determined not to just sit and just wait. Like, you know,
and it's important.
Yeah. So thank you for being with us, and thank you for leading us. I can't wait to figure out what you're going to do at the Women's Summit. But Carmel is amazing, and it'll be really great to hear from her as well. She's going to be one of our speakers, and she's going to be on our health panel, and so one of our greeters with her beautiful smile. So she's just all in. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for welcoming me so much, Crystal. You and I have worked together in the past, but I still am overwhelmed by the amount of love and support that you give me. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Are you going to have braids for the summit? What are you going to have for the summit?
I have no clue. Don't ask me that question. It might be a big afro. It might be braids. It might be locks. Who knows? It might be bald. It might be in a turban. Let's see. How's Carmel wearing her hair?
I know, right?
Just for that, that's fine too.
Yeah, just come for that. Well, the colors are red and purple, so I'm not sure what you're going to have on for the gala, but I know it's going to be gorgeous.
Red and purple. Okay, you told me that. I'm going to note it. I'm going to make sure that
Yeah.
I am in compliance.
Yeah, so a red snazzy, evening gown, or a purple gown, or like mix them up, like whatever you want to do for your purple turban. I don't know what you're going to do, but
We'll see. I'll figure it out, but it will be snazzy.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Crystal. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, everyone, we thank you for being here on The World Speaks. We have 3 panelists that are, I don't know if they're waiting patiently, but they're patiently waiting behind stage, so we will bring them on. What I want to do is play just a 1-minute commercial of one of our other students that we have as part of Next Gen Innovators. And one of the young men that is coming on right now is responsible for inviting some of these youth to be a part of this monetization incubator. And we have five finalists that have made it to the stage of meeting with some of our U.S. mentors and having where they launch their online courses. So this is one of the other ones that I have not played yet. We'll bring them on and then bring on our next panelists.
My name is Natasha Munjiloid from Lusaka, Zambia, and I'm the Managing Director of Wonsa Urban Cleaning and Maintenance Limited. I recently completed my degree in Economics and Finance at the University of Lusaka here in Zambia. My topic is on digital marketing. I am an entrepreneur and I own several other businesses. I would like to be mentored on entrepreneurial skills as well as career guidance skills. I am honored to be a finalist as part of the monetization incubator Next Gen Innovators with Dr. Crystal Richardson. Thank you.
So that was Natasha, and she is one of our finalists. We have 5, and one is going to win a trip to come here to the United States to continue working on their business for several weeks at the end of this year. So we can't wait to determine who that's going to be. But for The World Speaks today, we have 2 very, very amazing women as part of Women of Impact and Innovation International also. And then the young man that was responsible for inviting some of the students to Next Gen Innovators, and we want to bring them on next. So without further ado, we have Dr. Emily joining us. Hi, Dr. Emily.
Good morning. How are you?
You're totally on mute. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Such an honor always to be part of the group. And that was so inspiring, the hearing from the student. We always looking for the next generation.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I'll be featuring some of the other students on some of our other programs. There's another one that I'll be playing here in a moment too, but we want to bring on Tiet. How are you doing, Tiet?
I'm doing amazing. How are you ladies doing? Thank you
I'm
for
doing
having me
good.
on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and to feel your energy and your passion for women. We really appreciate it. Where are you located right now?
I am an official resident in Miami Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew you were moving. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Miami Beach. And Emily, where are you?
I'm in Southern California. I am in Huntington Beach.
Okay. Now, Emily and Tia, like everybody we have on here, I'm about to bring on Barrington, is all over the world. So I never really can keep up with Dr. Emily because she is all over the place, living her best life and speaking into people's lives. And so here we also have Barrington. Let me bring you on. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
Doing great, doing great. And where are you located?
In Turkey.
Yes, you're in Turkey. Yeah, I just saw you there, so I didn't know if you were still there.
Yes,
So,
yes, I'm right here.
okay, what time is it there?
This is 6:25 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Okay, great, great. Well, Dr. Emily, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will get into some discussion. You introduce yourself first. Yet you go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and then Barrington. Go ahead, Dr. Emily.
Thank you so much. Hello to my other panelists. My name is Dr. Emily Letran. I'm by training, I'm a dentist, been a dentist for more than 30 years, and I'm located in Southern California. Um, Besides the passion of being a dentist, I had this calling to be a coach and a consultant. So for the past 7 years, I've been doing business consulting and helping people grow personally, um, high performance coaching. I am so honored to be part of the executive board of WOIII, and I'm thrilled to be coming to the summit and being able to lead a panel. It's called the Badass Panel. No, I'm sorry. No, it's called the Authority Positioning Panel. And we will be sharing strategies on how to brag about yourself the correct way, and winning media, winning trust, and really growing yourself.
Okay, you always have to like throw that in there. I just cannot trust you, Emily. I cannot trust
Was
you.
is it a PG-13 thing, or what is? You just said come on this morning, so I don't think there was any rules or anything like that.
Awesome, awesome. Tiet, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello. Well, my name is Tiet Forrest. I am CEO at U Square Capital, and I help people create wealth through real estate. We invest in income producing assets, and multifamily is the rent, it goes up, the property appreciates over time, and it continues to cash flow every single month. And this is what I love doing to help people create wealth. But then also, I'm also passionate in other things as well. This time in my life, I had a big spiritual awakening, and even moving to Miami Beach was also a risk, well, a big life changer for me in believing in myself and trusting in myself. And so right now, I'm working on a book as well and another business that I'm starting up. So hopefully everybody stay close and keep ears in what I'm creating for the world.
Awesome, awesome. Really great to have you on. And Barrington, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Barrington Chungulo, and I'm from Lusaka, Zambia, currently based in Turkey. I'm the president and founder of the Dream Factory, which is a Zambian leveraged non-profit social enterprise. So what I do is I create opportunities for young people, for, let me just say, for fellow young people, And the reason behind the foundation of the Dream Factory is we realized that in Africa, let me also say in Zambia, because that's where I come from, we realized that most young people give up on their dreams because of three things. One was lack of opportunities, another one was lack of exposure, and then another one was lack of having a vision. So that's why we created the Dream Factory. That is, we want to create opportunities for young people so that they can achieve their dreams. We also want to expose young people to both local and global success stories. And we also want to transform dreamers into visionaries. Yeah, so that's what I basically do. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us today, everyone. And so we're talking on The World Speaks today. And part of what we're going to be talking about is how you feel people can have the greatest impact in their life. Like, how can people have the greatest impact based on all the things that you've done in your life, all the things that you've seen? What is one thing that you can share with us on how to have a great impact? And we will start first with Dr. Emily.
Yes, there's a lot of things that we could do to create the greatest impact on not just our lives, but on other people's lives. In my particular case, I believe it was and it still is courage. We are not talking about running into a building and saving somebody from a fire or doing something really, really heroic. Sometimes it is just dealing with ourselves, self-doubt, fear, not sure, being uncertain. And for me, I originally came from Vietnam as a refugee to this country. I always dealt with self-doubt, right? Because first of all, you can never tell what they're talking about, not knowing the language, and then not knowing the culture, not sure why certain things are going on. I remember when I was in school, high school, I hated the assembly because I couldn't understand what it was. And I thought it was a waste of time. Why is everybody getting together and sitting there for half an hour instead of studying, right? And it's just because of the lack of understanding. And as I grew and went through professional school, and then after that, having my own business and being very blessed to learn from some of the brightest and greatest business guru, I learned to step up and, get rid of my fear and develop that courage, and getting to the point where I help other people develop that courage. Because a lot of time, I think in order for us to grow, we need to know where we are right now. And we also need to know that there's a higher level. If you hang out with the people who are doing the same thing as you probably get real comfortable. In business, there's a saying that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you better get out of the room, go to another room. And I think before I knew that, I was pretty comfortable. Hey, I think I'm the best one here. I'm just going to hang out here. But when you know more, you know that you don't know enough, right? And what you don't know is you don't know. And so having the courage to learn and invest in yourself and take that next step, especially with guidance, is how I developed that courage. And that's how I got to where I am right now, hanging out with Lady Crystal and everything. It takes a lot of courage, trust me, because I gotta watch her. She's doing this and this and this, and okay, 10 things. Let me just do 2, right? But the main thing is wanting to do it and wanting to do it for impact. And I think all of us have big dreams, and I believe that nobody can achieve the big dream without courage.
Courage. That's good. Yeah. And I think that's really good, because one of the things you talked about is like being the smartest person in the room. And so there are times where we want to be that so that we can give back. And then there's times that we want to have where we're learning and continue to evolve as well. So that's very, very good. Very good.
Thank you. And I think we all have, it takes some courage to be on the world stage here, right? We online, anybody can watch us. And it takes a certain amount of development and commitment to be vulnerable on the world stage, whether you're on the live stage or you're on virtual stage.
Right.
And I think, but if you really want to be that person to bring that message or that connector, or for me, I like to think of myself as a catalyst, right? I just push people to do what they should do to get to their best self. It will always take the courage.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say about Dr. Emily is that, she is the ideal lady. So depending on whatever it is that you have, she will have some suggestions related to, well, how about you think about this, or how about doing it this way? Or I was just at this conference and they did this or that, or I remember blah, 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 blah. So, it is where you want to have people in your life that help you to grow. And even if it's something that you've already thought of, you can at least say, yeah, that's really great. And we are going to do this. Or you can say, Dr. Emily, that's something that's really interesting. And yeah, maybe let's consider it and brainstorm on it more. So having people in your life like that help to propel you is something that I think is great. And so I want to bring on Barrington next to talk about like what would be that one thing that you would share with people. And as I bring him on, as I mentioned, I want to just honor him and just thank him for being the catalyst for a number of these students being able to be in this monetization incubator, as well as he's the person responsible for me coming to Turkey for the conversational English camp, and just had a really, really great time. And I'm working with Tamir, who's over Kids Are Up, to have where we're able to bring on other mentors. Like you can even be working throughout the year with the students, just doing conversational English, or you can also go to one of the camps. We'll be hearing more about that for a camp in November of this year, as well as next June. So I'm trying to like gather all the women to want to come with me too. But Barrington, go ahead and share with us about your one thing that you would want to share with the world.
Okay, so one thing that I would like to share with the world about how someone can create impact, I think it's first finding your purpose. I believe when God was creating us, like everyone says, like God created you for a purpose, and that's true. So when God was creating us, one amazing thing that I like is He had put like a purpose inside us. So finding your purpose first, realizing your purpose, that's one way in which you can create impact. Let me give examples of all these great people. Look at, for example, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison realized his purpose when he was young, and look at the impact that he created before he died. Look at Nikola Tesla. All these people, they were doing something that they love. One thing about your purpose is you can know that this is your purpose by doing something that you love, doing something that you enjoy, and doing something that makes you happy. You live a happy life, something that even when you are doing it, it fulfills you. And another thing that I appreciate God about is that our purpose is not just about us. Our purpose involves other people. Our purpose involves people around us. So when you are living your purpose, it's you'll find that everything that you are doing is helping you, and it's also helping people around you. It can be in many ways. It can be just by inspiring them by the works that you do. It can be by inspiring them by the books that you write, by speaking on world stages, maybe by playing football. You are playing football, but you're inspiring other people. You look at people like Michael Jordan. Look at the impact he created. The reason he created that large impact, huge impact, is because basketball was his purpose. All these big people, like great minds in the world, like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, all these people, when you are watching them, we look at them, we are like, okay, this is their talent. They are gifted at this. That's because that's their purpose, So realizing your purpose, finding your purpose is one way which I think you can create huge impact, because without even you knowing that you are impacting other people's life, just by you living your purpose will make other people get inspired, in a positive way. Mm-hmm. So realizing your purpose is one way in which you can create great impact in this world. I believe so. Yeah.
Awesome. And one thing you said that I wrote down that we will include in the literary submission is that our purpose is not just about us. And so I really, really feel that that's true. Emily and I, we have like another business that we're working on, some things that are specifically being put in place to have impact in women's lives. It can help men as well, but something that we feel is going to be very, very impactful. And I just really, really appreciate, and even, Tiet, where she's helping us, behind the scenes with some different things that we're doing to have where we have better organization within the Women of Impact and Innovation. We're a new organization just created last year. And so it takes all of us to have where we're building up the next generation of powerful professional women. And with Barrington, like I said, he's very, very highly decorated and all the different things that he's done as a young man. And so now he's giving back by providing opportunities for young people as well. So thank you for that. So Tiet, what is your one thing that you want to share?
I want to share to people to be your best, truest self, and don't hide behind who you truly are. I believe a lot of times we allow things to happen, or we don't speak up just because we are so kind. And for me, I've learned that speaking up and holding true to who you are, and being the best version of you, and just showing up always, no matter what you're going through, and how bad you want it, that good things are going to come your way. Just the fact that you believe in yourself, just have a positive mindset, and that the outcome will always be good when there's bad days. Mm-hmm. That positive mindset is very, very, very important.
Awesome. It is. Positive mindset is key. And what I wrote down related to you is don't hide behind who you really are. And once we accept our uniqueness, then we can show up and have the impact that we were specifically meant to have. We were not meant to be copycats of one another. And as you can see with Women of Impact and Innovation and with Next Gen Innovators, every single person is different. And every single person has something different and unique to offer. Everything has not been created already. Everything has not been invented already. There's a lot of things that have, but some people sit back like, oh, well, everything's already done, so why should I even try? Well, no, you could actually have something that was really meant to help millions and millions and maybe even billions of people. So having a mindset of continuing to just move forward and think about, what your impact could be is what's really important, because guess what? That next big thing could actually be something that's right here in our mind or in our heart. And if we don't bring it out to the world, then it may never come out. Or you may think about it and not do it, and then somebody else does, and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Don't live a woulda, shoulda, coulda life. Don't. Yeah. And so I'm going to have all of you all give your final comments. This is a special edition. We're talking about impact and innovation and being international. So for the word innovation, I'm going to give you just one moment to think about it. I'm going to play another commercial of one of our other students, Genius, who has her video from Next Gen Innovators. But innovation and creativity. If you were to say something to help inspire someone to be creative, what would that be? Like, what is it that you can say to someone that maybe you have already done and you apply to your life on how you're creative and how you're innovative in your life, how you're creative and innovative in your business? What would that one piece of advice be? So as you're thinking about your answer related to innovation and creativity, I'm going to show one more commercial of one of our other students that is a finalist in Next Gen Innovators Monetization Incubator.
Greetings, my name is Genius Mapalomukuka, and I'm originally from Lusaka, Zambia, but reside in Milton Keynes, United Kingdom. I'm passionate about improving the welfare of young women and empowering youth for personal and national development. Therefore, amongst other things, I volunteer at an NGO called Educating Girls and Young Women for Development as their policy and research officer. My course is titled The Essential Guide for Mentoring Young People, and I would be honored to receive mentorship on how to successfully run an NGO and upscale a business. I'm honored to be part of the finalists for the Monetization Incubator with Dr. Crystal Richardson. Thank you.
So that was genius. And she is actually one of our main ambassadors. She was elevated to ambassador for the Next Gen Innovator Program. So we thank her for all that she does to help everything stay coordinated and tallying up the scores of the various assignments and different things that they do. All right. So with the question related to innovation and creativity, who wants to go first? Okay, Dr. Emily is just waving frantically. Let's hear from Dr. Emily. What do you have?
That wasn't frantically. Well,
Pick
what
me.
as well as the OD, right, on this panel, I think throughout my life, and I watch other champions like you. Part of the innovation, I think, is reinventing yourself. It's not just I'm going to go and innovate on a project. I'm going to go and create something. Sometimes it's recreating yourself when you're in a particular circumstance, when you take on a new venture, a new project. Sometimes when you're in the presence of others. I'll give you an example when I'm going from being the dentist to the speaker to somebody in your circle where people are maybe looking up at us as influencers or thought leaders, any of those terms. We have to reinvent ourselves, and it's not reinventing so we make ourselves look that way. We already are doing that, but we have to think of ways where we can present ourselves, where we can attract other people to support us in achieving our dreams. So, for example, in the upcoming summit, I know everybody have a business or maybe they have a job and they're comfortable with where they are and who they are. When they come to the summit and they meet all kinds of people of different colors, people of different backgrounds, different education. I think this upcoming time we're going to have 5 knighted ladies, I think, royalty, right? And
Right.
so what do you do in that case, right? You have to sort of reinvent yourself. You have to, bring yourself to that kind of gathering with different thinking, because you're going to be challenged. You're not
Right.
going to show up to that summit and go home comfortable. I give you that. You're going to go there, you're going to look at people, you're going to hear stories, you're going to learn strategies, and you're going to say, you know what, I can't wait to get back to apply these things, whether it's I'm going to get my tribe, my employees to do better. Sometimes it might just be you go home and you say, okay, I've been talking about this for 3 years. I think it's time for me to do it. And I think that's what's going to be so exciting about our summit coming up, because I believe when you go to one of those gatherings that is meant for you, you will innovate yourself. You will reinvent yourself. And it's not just the action, it's the thoughts. It's how you think about yourself, that's the biggest thing, because how we think about ourselves is how we're going to act, and our behaviors that's what's going to change the world. And so I'm so excited to see, next gen people, at home I call them little people, but anyway, have young people coming up. And they have all those great ideas, and we are so blessed, Crystal, you and I, to be in the position where we can challenge them, right? When we create the summit, we have this platform where we can share those ideas and get them to think bigger than who they are, wherever they are. And so, for me, the innovation is, because I work in personal growth, is always about reinventing yourself. And as you reinvent yourself, you're going to reinvent that world around you, whether you pick different people to hang out with, you pick different projects to be involved with, and you just rise up to a new level.
Right. And surrounding yourself with the people that don't just always agree with you, but that are also going to help you elevate, and you can help them elevate. And that's what Women of Impact and Innovation International has done for me. I was never surrounded by, this many powerful professional women before ever in life. and creating this group and having people like you say yes to Yet saying yes, Wa saying yes. Who else was on? Felicia, Dr. Sharon, like all the different people. This has just been life changing for me. Like I cannot even express my gratitude enough for all of you all, you know, saying yes.
And sometimes saying yes is already innovation, because it might not be something that you normally say yes to.
Right. And some of you all told me that too. It's like, I'm already a part of other groups and I don't really say yes, but this is, there's something that's slightly different about this. And so, yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah. So thank you so much. You have any other final comments?
Well, I hope to see everybody at the summit. It's going to be in Pittsburgh. And I don't know what the weather is going to be like at that time. I'm not a weather expert. But you believe it or not, sometimes that's the excuse people give, right? I don't know. It's going to be whatever. Travel is difficult.
Yeah.
You know, weather is difficult. Well, I mean, I'd use that excuse sometimes. I have never been to New York during the winter. There's a dental summit there that I've never been to. And yes, that's my excuse. It's right around Thanksgiving and I'm not leaving my family. But I'm just saying in general, some of us are not going to events and putting ourselves in sometimes uncomfortable situations to grow. And but I highly recommend everybody to be there. I expect everybody to be there. I promise your life will change.
It will. It will. Well, thank you, Dr. Emily, and you have a great rest of your day. And I think we're supposed to be talking maybe tomorrow. I can't really remember when our next appointment is, but we'll be in touch.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, that was Dr. Emily. And next we will have final comments related to innovation creativity from Barrington and then Tiet. So Barrington, what do you have for us?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have 3 takes on innovation and creativity, you know.
Okay.
The first one is, you know, when you talk about innovation and creativity as a young person, you know, innovation and creativity are what makes up our ideas, our projects, you know. And then when you talk about our ideas, our projects, they make up our goals, and our goals all lead us to our dreams and our vision, you know. So my take on that is that the first take that I have on that is that our dreams and our vision, you know, is like they are like technology. They have to evolve. If they don't evolve, we'll remain behind, you know. So if we see this world is becoming digitalized, we need to let our dreams evolve as well. We need to let our vision evolve, because if they don't evolve, our dreams, our vision, they are going to remain behind, and we won't be able to adapt in this changing world. Mm-hmm. That's the first take. The second take is, this is something which I use personally to measure how big my project is, how big my idea is. So as a young person, if your idea or your project requires you to achieve it alone, you can achieve your idea alone. Just know that it's not big enough, you know. In as much as you are incorporating innovation and creativity, but if it's something that you can alone, succeed alone, it's not big enough. So I measure how big my project is, how big my by, like, can I achieve these dreams with alone? If they can achieve them alone, they are not big enough, they are not great enough. So you need the bigger dreams require you to have a team. Bigger dreams require you to have partners. So in as much of an idea, you have dreams and you can't achieve them alone, you need a team, you need partners. That's how you know that your dream is big. That's how you know that your idea is great. That's my second take. The third take that I have is, as a social entrepreneur, probably there are a lot of young people there who are in this space for social impact. You know, I can't leave that behind because I advocate. So as we are thinking about ideas, as we are thinking about social impact, and you are incorporating innovation and creativity, let us not think about capital first. Let us think about the community first. You know, because when we put the community first, when we think about how can we engage the community, we empathize with the community, everything, we involve the community, everything will fall into place, because all the projects that we do revolve around the community. Capital comes later. So let us think of the community first than thinking of capital first. in as we are trying to come up with social impact projects, trying to be innovative, and as we are trying to be creative.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Those are all really, really great points. And some of those will be included in the literary submission. So thank you so much for that. And very nice shirt you have on there, your Next Gen Innovator shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And thank you again for the invite, the invitation, and the introduction to Mayor for the Kids Are Up in the English School. We cannot wait to go back and do more with that. And one of the things specifically that you're helping with from a World Speaks perspective, and you can get in contact with us. I can, my information is lifeinnovationglobal.com is at the bottom of this for anyone who's interested in hearing more about that. But what Barrington specifically helps with is SAT preparation. And so before we bring on to Yet, you have like 30 seconds, not a long time, Barrington, but just 30 seconds to say what you do with helping the students over there with SAT preparation.
Okay, so I help the students prepare their SATs, tutor them with mathematics and English using different kinds of platforms. And then this is just 30% of their college application. So what we do? I also help them in terms of branding, making sure that according to what they want to start, I make sure that as they are in high school, they participate in extracurricular activities that align with their goals, that align with what they want to study. Some of them, they don't know that, So that's what I do, preparing them with SATs, mentoring them, and branding them, helping them to brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Barrington. Thank you for joining us and making us an international program today, all the way from Turkey.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. So that was Barrington. We really appreciate him being on. He does a lot with the Dream Factory. And next, we will have final comments on innovation and creativity from Tiat.
Thank you. For the innovation creativity, I honestly believe that a lot of times for me, I know the whole purpose is, I used to ask myself, what is my purpose here? And I struggled with it for a very long time. Like years went by, like too many years. Like I literally feel like I'm probably in my late 20s now, but I'm really, like Dr. Ebony would say, reinventing ourselves, right? And being amongst women such as you and Dr. Emily, Dr. Hua, all these wonderful leaders, I am so grateful and humble because although I may be around the same age, maybe a little bit younger, way younger. Look, I don't look like what I went through, okay? And I'm going to tell you this, God is my witness and I have a testimony and I am grateful for my experiences because I've learned so much and now I'm able to share with the world where we can somehow make things better for the next generation, for the veil to be lifted and move on an easy pace. And this is what I want others to know is your life experiences that you went through can also help you create things for you, like businesses and to help others reinvent themselves as well. Like just the life experience. And for me, it was being stuck. What is my purpose? And when I learned about my life experience and didn't look past it, because everything I went through was not to me, it was for me. It was for me to speak my truth and for me to help others get through life easier and faster instead of wasting all these years like I felt like I wasted. So hopefully just looking at it in a different perspective instead of being stuck and nostalgic, in that way.
No, that's good. That's good. So using our personal experiences can also help us to be creative. That's a really, really great take on that. And so I'll be writing that down as part of the literary submission as well. So thank you.
And I love you guys. Thank you for giving me this platform, first of all, because I know that Dr. Hua, I'm sorry for cutting in, but I just want to jump over the screen and give you a big hug
No, you're
because
fine.
you were absolutely amazing. You were so passionate, and Dr. Hall brought me on, and you guys just took me in with open arms. And for me, I was a stay-at-home mother a few years ago, and now my world is just opening, it's creating more and more, and I'm creating the world around me now. It's not me just going along with the punches, it's me creating it instead of just taking what's given. And so I am so grateful and thankful for you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I remember our first interview, our first talk, and just how you just really touched my heart. And so we're really grateful for you too, to be a part of what we're doing with the Women of Impact and Innovation. So I can't wait to see you in August.
I can't wait to see you too.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tiet.
All right. Thank you.
Well, we have had some amazing guests on today. There were several others that were scheduled, and so we will be having another The World Speaks. And as we continue the final edits of what we're doing for that book, we'll just continue adding on to The World Speaks chapter. I really thank everyone for being a part of what we're doing today and for lifting up the Women's Summit. So I'll be playing one of those commercials again here in just a moment, but I want you to hear from some of the other women as to why they joined, and maybe it's something that you would be interested in joining as well. Let's hear from Jen Du Plessis.
Hi there, ladies. I am Jen Du Plessis with Kinetic Spark Consulting, and I am so excited to tell you why I decided to participate and chose to be part of the Women of Influence and Innovation International organization. I'm also a member of the Ambassador Board for Wealth and Finance, and I will tell you that one of the biggest things is lifting women, whether it is those of us who have experience or those of us who are just starting out in the world. We want to lift all women internationally, help everyone that we possibly can. And what better way to do it than to be part of this organization where we have women that are entrepreneurs, people that are working for other people, but still making an impact. Those of us who are participating in charitable organizations, which is the other reason why I wanted to be part of this beautiful organization. So if you're thinking about it, stop it. Stop thinking. Take the action to be part of our organization. We need you. We want your contribution. We want to hear what you're all about, what your story is all about, so that we can together rise up, all of us. I hope to see you in the organization soon. Can't wait to see you on Facebook Live in the coming year as we have our meetings on a regular basis. Can't wait to hear your story. Thank you. And go get signed up now.
Well, that was Jen Du Plessis, and we appreciate her being on with us for uplifting what we're doing for Women of Impact and Innovation International. So there are so many amazing women. Like we said, last year, we honored Sharon Lechter, and this is one of her books. I want to just kind of lean it down here so that it doesn't have a glare. And it's Think and Grow Rich for Women. And so if you're familiar with the regular book, Think and Grow Rich, it has the same chapters in it, but it's from a women's perspective. And she has various annotations that she puts in here on how we as women should be applying that particular book. Another book that I want to discuss here just for a moment is another book that I'm in is The Power of Proximity. The Power of Proximity. Now, this is one with Greg Reed, and there's a person that's going through a journey in their life. And so she comes across various people along the way. And my chapter is the fourth chapter. It says The 7 L's of Success by Crystal Richardson. And so what I do in here is talk about how this particular person that's going on this journey can have where she has more success in her life by applying those principles. There's another book that I'm a part of. Let's see if I can find it right here. There's a series of these. This one is the habits, one habit for entrepreneurial success. So this one was a part of the previous series of books, the One Habit books with Steve Sambliss. This particular one, the person who helped with this was Forbes Riley. And so this one has, I think it's over 800 and some pages of people giving their one habit for entrepreneurial success. Now, why is it important for me to say this about this? Part of it has to do with who we surround ourselves with, okay? And how they have impacted our lives and how we can impact their lives and then the lives of others by elevating ourselves and elevating not just ourselves, but elevating where we are in our journey so that we can help other people with their journey. And one of the other books is Innovative Women in Healthcare, Success with Exceptional Leadership. This one is with none other than Dr. Emily. I see she's still backstage and we're going to be finishing up here. I think we're supposed to already be done. It's 9 o'clock. But this is a book that I was in with her, with women in healthcare. And so part of what I want you to understand is that all of what we're doing here is just helping one another have where we are aligning ourselves with being our best selves, aligning ourselves with abundance, creating legacy, having impact in the world, doing it creatively. And that's what The World Speaks is all about, helping us understand how we can be that person that is the change that we want to see in the world. So thank you all for being a part of this today. I'm going to close out by showing the commercial once again for the summit and also the video related to The World Speaks. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Join us as His Royal Highness Dr. Clyde Rivers and Global Wealth Innovation Strategist Dr. Crystal Richardson of Life Innovation Global present The World Speaks. Do you ever wonder how people come up with innovative ideas that are not only phenomenal, but have the ability to positively change the trajectory of minds, lives, and bank accounts for years to come? Do you wonder how they got started, what drives them every day, and what are their secrets? Well, wonder no more. The World Speaks is here. Experts in their area of influence come together to speak, share, and inspire as part of their literary submission in Dr. Crystal's book, Activating Your Greatness, brought to you by YPN Publishing and founder Dr. Sam Ibrube. This is the first of many The World Speaks forums that will highlight great men and women worldwide as they share their greatness and strength as agents of positive change. For more information on how you can be a part of this Greatness Forum, Monetization Incubator, and our global humanitarian initiatives, go to www.lifeinnovationglobal.com today. Dr. Crystal's motto is No Legacy Unreached. Help her reach billions by sharing your greatness and strength as a part of The World Speaks. www.lifeinnovationglobal.com and LIGTV. My name is Zanny G. Join us.